here we go. Greetings, shifters. Welcome to a special edition late night inspirational team tarot. Just gonna hang out here for the next little bit, doing some readings for the team. For those of you who may be watching this in the future, usually when we do these broadcasts, they're early in the morning. I'm usually live Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. EDT, or sorry, 11 a.m. EDT. But tonight I was just kind of feeling inspired. I cultivate some extra energy, and like, you know what, I just want to be able to jump on here and just be able to reach out to some of the late night crowd and just see what inspiration we can cultivate here. So for those of you on TikTok or Instagram, what's up? Thank you guys so much for joining in. Go ahead and click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube there. And yeah, we'll get things started in the next couple moments. I'll probably just draw a card right off the bat, just to be able to set the pace. And then for those of you who want to be able to jump on in to be able to add your support and to be able to help facilitate a consecutive reading, go ahead and add your support on PayPal or join on Patreon. And yeah, I'd love to be able to see if we can even get some new Patreon signups as we're hanging out here. Yeah, and happy full moon, Starseeds Unite. Thank you so much for joining in. Happy full moon, everyone. And I'm just moving a couple things around on screen. And sweet. All right. Cool. All right, we'll build the audience up on YouTube. Things will get going there. I brewed up some coffee. Who here? Does anybody else here like drink coffee like at incredible late hours? I mean, I'm not usually one to drink coffee to begin with, but you know, I'm like, if I'm gonna be doing tarot, I'll brew up some coffee. So sweet. All right, let's do a hero's journey deck to start things off. So awesome. So if you guys are tuned in right now, thank you so much. If you're here, the way how we do this is a way for us to be able to receive additional inspiration and insight to support us on our journey, to support us on our path. And again, you guys are welcome to be able to add your support by joining on Patreon, by signing up on there with a monthly contribution, and to be able to connect further into our community that we got. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. We actually just did some updates on my Patreon today, so if you haven't checked out my Patreon yet, go ahead and check it out. There's some nice clean layout in terms of what you get when you join there. And again, if you guys want to be able to contribute on PayPal, go ahead and do that. And we'll just do a few readings here, and who knows, you guys might keep me up late. If you guys are supporting on Patreon and PayPal, then we'll stay up as long as the contributions are rolling. So we'll start off with a quick reading here from the Hero's Journey deck. So I'm just going to invite you guys to be able to join in with a little bit of a meditation. Again, for those of you on TikTok or Instagram, feel free to leave some comments down in the chat. And if you guys want to jump over to YouTube, just click the link in my profile there. And yeah, we're live on Twitch, and we're live on YouTube, and we're live on TikTok, and we're live on Instagram. So just doing a quick little draw here to be able to get things rolling. And I'm not sure if you guys can hear the music in the background. I got some like Zelda lo-fi. Got the beats rolling in the background with Zelda. So let's set the intention here. Show us what we need to see. So I'm just going to take a moment here, just kind of breathe. Just inviting you guys to join in with me. For anybody here, feel free to just take a breath. Close your eyes. Late night meditation. Feel those vibes. As you breathe here, just allow yourself to be in this space of gratitude. Gratitude for yourself, for being here, for the messages we are about to receive, for this awesome late night space we are creating as a community. And setting the intention, show us what we need to see. We being the individual, the collective, the team. Speaking that intention, show us what we need to see. Speaking it with our heart, with our mind, with our words, with our soul. Take a few moments here to continue to breathe. You guys focus on that intention, and when you're ready, go ahead and gently open your eyes. Type those wizard noises in the chat, and we'll do some quick little wizard magic here as we draw the card. So, and so as we move into the dawn of this new moon, we realize that the time is ever so soon for us to be able to be here and now, for us to be able to work with the magic of the cards, to be able to see the awe and the wow within each and every single moment, because we are here to truly own it. And so I thank each and every single one of you for being here as we pull the deck and we reveal what the cards will speak as truth and real. All right, so First card, super excited to be able to see what it is. Wizardy, wizardy, wizardy noises. That's right. Thank you, Starseeds. That's again one of the users' name there. All right, first card that we pulled is ooh, this one looks very interesting. Very cool, very cool. First card that we have pulled for anybody who's tuned in right now. Again, these readings are for you guys. So card number 20. What would your higher self do? You are divinity in blue jeans. Oh, that's an interesting way of putting it. What would your higher self do? You are divinity in blue jeans. What would your higher self do? You are divinity in blue jeans. Abby, for those of you tuned in, for those of you who may be new, if you are new, feel free to just drop a 333 in the chat just so I know. The way how we do these, anybody who's tuned in, these readings are for you. We work with the collective intention of show us what we need to see. So if you're here right now, this message is for you. This reading is for you. And then again, as we do this, if you guys want to be able to get a more kind of like personalized, specific reading with your energy going into it, go ahead and contribute on PayPal or Patreon. So if you guys want to be able to do it that way and then you can help facilitate the read, go ahead and sign up on the Patreon or the PayPal, and the link for that is in my profile. But if you guys are brand new, just go ahead, stick around for a while, feel things out, and yeah, let's hang out here for a little bit and let's talk a little bit more about what this card has to offer. We got 4 people tuned in on YouTube right now, 1 person tuned in on Twitch, and 4 people on Instagram, and a couple people on TikTok. So just visually explain the card here. What would your higher self do? You are divinity in blue jeans. This is cool. We haven't actually read this card on air, so I'm excited to be able to dive into it. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, go ahead and join in on my YouTube. That's where the primary camera is. So like when I'm talking over here, that's me talking to my laptop. So if you join in on YouTube, the audio is better and you get to be able to see the card better. So go ahead and do that now if you guys are able to, but if you're not able to, no worries. So click the link in my profile, and then right through there it says join on YouTube, and then you join on YouTube. So just taking a look here, just visually explain the image. You have this image, and I'll just go quick. We'll just kind of do some like quick readings here. This person just sitting down at the side of the card with their hand on their head, and there's a beautiful, immaculate, celestial being kind of illuminated in this beautiful blue light. And this amazing just Mandela just kind of shining around them. And yeah, I love how like just kind of like casual that person is. But again, also obviously kind of drawing the comparison between the higher self and the version of ourself that's kind of like playing the character of this material form, which again leads into the theme of what this card is about. What would your higher self do? So as we're doing this, we'll keep an eye open for any signups on PayPal and Patreon. And again, I'll explain a little bit more about the PayPal and Patreon if you guys are new, and we'll keep things rolling here. So we're going to read a little bit from the book. So again, if you guys are tuned in, this message is for you. So feel free to drop any 1111s if anything we say resonates with you. So thank you guys so much for joining in. And yeah, let's see what the message is from this card for you. So as I read this, just allow yourself to kind of like meditate. If you're here, this reading, this message, this is for you. So thank you guys again for joining in. Card number 20. What would your higher self do? You are divinity in blue jeans. This is a quote by Anton St. Martin. You are a deity in jeans and a t-shirt, and within you dwells the infinite wisdom of the ages and the sacred creative force of all that is, will be, and ever was. Hey, Andrea, thank you so much for making the jump over to YouTube. Welcome, welcome. Message. From a quantum field perspective, there is only one of us here. Your guides, inner and outer, are all part of the sea of brilliance in which you swim. You're drenched with higher guidance, and if you choose, you can trust it to lead you to your own wisdom. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, every man is a divinity in disguise, a god playing the fool. And Rumi said, I have been a seeker and I still am, but I stopped asking the books and the stars, and I started listening to the teaching of my soul. In other words, the sum total of all the outward guidance in the world doesn't hold a candle to the wisdom of the guidance force within you. Let me reread that part right there. In other words, the sum total of all the outward guidance of the world doesn't hold a candle to the wisdom of the guiding force within you. Remember, you're at one with the one. Open your heart to the divine within you. Then open your journal, grab a pen, and allow your inner wisdom to pour through. When you open your mouth to speak, allow this higher perspective to express through you. Again, if anything we say resonates with you, drop those 1111s in the chat. I'm going to keep rolling here. Within this deck, it also gives us a dream symbol correlated with each card. So this card's dream symbol is commanding voice. A commanding voice is a dream. A commanding voice in a dream is usually the voice of your higher self, breaking through the fog to get your attention about something important. Because your dreams are most often visual, it is special to hear guidance voiced clearly. Upon waking, transcribe the message in your journal. Meditate on it to see if you can identify what aspects of your life it is relating to, and thus, what action to take. Mantra: I trust the wisdom of my higher self and follow it, step by step, toward higher ground. So again, if anything we say resonates with you here, go ahead and drop those 1111s in the chat. What we're going to do now, I'm going to just continue to channel in some additional insight based on the reading of this card. And as we do this, for anybody who would like to be able to, again, add their contribution on PayPal or Patreon, when you guys do that, we'll do a meditation with you and you guys can help facilitate the next reading. And again, it adds your support to what it is that we're creating here. And yeah, it keeps things rolling here within the broadcast. So for anybody who wants to be able to sign up on PayPal or Patreon, you guys are more than welcome to be able to do that. And it's pretty late night, so I'm not expecting much, but we'll just move from one reading into the next. But you guys are welcome to contribute in whatever way works for you. So this is a super awesome card to be able to receive, and I love the message of this. Again, really just summarizing the idea that you are divinity in blue jeans. What does that mean? What does that mean to you, the concept of you are divinity in blue jeans? Oftentimes when we think about our experience within this reality, it literally is something that, you know, even from my own journey, it was something that over time I'm like, wait a second, this isn't me just learning something new. This is actually a process of remembering who I am, remembering what I am as a soul, and remembering what I am as a multidimensional being. So with this card came to you in this moment to really be able to remind you that when you look at the world around you, you know, in some cases, yes, it is incredibly important. Yes, it is incredibly meaningful, but it is only just a small fraction of who you are. Your story in itself is much, much bigger than just this one lifetime alone, if that resonates with you. Again, we're here to be able to experience this lifetime fully. Just because we are divinity doesn't make this moment any less precious. If anything, it's the entirety of divinity folded into this single moment, which makes it even more special. The fact that we've literally gone through this process of bringing all of this like conscious wisdom into this space where we can access it by looking within, by looking inside. So I love this idea that, again, in other words, the sum total of all the outward guidance in the world doesn't hold a candle to the wisdom of the guiding force within you. So with this card, I hold this card as a reminder for each and every single one of you to really be able to check in with your relationship in terms of where it is that you're seeking guidance. Are you putting too much expectation and are you depending too much on being able to learn everything from, say, for example, a TikTok? Maybe it's a live stream. Maybe it's some goofy guy doing tarot. Is this the primary source of your wisdom? Not to say there's anything wrong with that, but at the same time, it's important to be able to balance it. What is your relationship like in terms of you being able to develop that relationship inside, of you being able to look inside, and also of you being able to practice, being able to cultivate that awareness of what that voice is saying to you from the inside, so that you can practice creating more of a channel, creating more of a flow, creating more of an ease, so that this message can come through you more clearly. And this is where, again, you know, it's really encouraging you to literally, you know, like grab a pen, allow the inner wisdom to speak through you. A lot of people, they don't journal much these days. And if they were to really just practice, again, you know, really just meditating, quieting the mind, listening to their heart, speaking to their soul, the amount of wisdom that can come through in those moments is incredibly profound. You know, it gives us insight towards some of the big decisions that we're looking to be able to make in life. Oftentimes, some of those big decisions, if we're just creating them purely just like on like immediate reaction and impulse, sometimes what can happen, not all the time, sometimes what can happen, it can kind of like lead us to a point, and then we almost have to kind of go like, you know, like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. But if you're listening to your intuition, then oftentimes you'll be able to find like the path of not necessarily just least resistance, but the path of optimized growth. And that's not to say the path itself won't have challenges, but it's more the path that's going to be worth your while. It's more the path that's going to be something where it's not just repeating the same pattern, doing something you've already done before. Instead, it's going to take you somewhere new, somewhere that's really going to help you accelerate your growth in a meaningful way. So again, when you think about this, what does it mean to even be divinity? To be divinity is also really being able to understand that there's a big part of who we are that actually is capable of being able to perceive this story that we are experiencing from a very non-linear perspective. The divinity aspect of you is the part of you that has been able to really understand where your life has come from, and more so where your life is going. And even though from our linear perspective of where we are in this present moment, we may not fully know where we are going, but we can still allow ourselves to connect to the idea that even here from this present moment, we are still connected to that reality. We are still connected to that future. And the divinity aspect of who we are really allows us to be able to connect into that heart space where when we're there, we allow ourselves to intuitively go with that flow, to go with that flow that will continue to lead us further towards those bigger steps on our journey that are really going to help us grow into, again, the destiny that we are born for, the destiny that we seek. And then that's, as a divine being, as a being of divinity, we are here to be able to serve a purpose. And maybe that's a card that we'll talk, maybe that's a conversation we'll talk about more as we get into our next reading. And we're actually going to segue right into our next reading. Starseeds Unite, thank you so much for your contribution on PayPal. Super appreciate that. So we'll do that. We'll get right into our next reading. I honestly could talk about this card all day, but just at the very least, it's important to be able to remember that. I'll just say this, I'll summarize it. You are something incredibly big and profound and magical, playing the role of something that is pretending to be small and perceivably insignificant, but incredibly far from it. There is infinity above you and infinity below you. And so a lot of people, that's kind of like the trick that they've been played into. Someone along the lines convinced them that they're just a small, insignificant speck. But within that small, insignificant speck is the entire majesty of the whole. It's a quote. I'm gonna butcher it here. Where let me just I just want to make sure I get it right. Infinity, your hand. This is the quote from William Blake. To see a world in a grain of sand and heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. So again, it's this idea that within the small is the big, within the little is the huge, within you, a single person, may not seem like a big deal, is the holographic fractal of divinity, entirety, the universe. It's all inside of you. And what does that mean? Well, it means that there's more for you to be able to discover. There's more for you to be able to look into. And there's a lot more wisdom inside of you than I think a lot of us often give it credit for. So inviting you to really be able to tap more into and trust what it means to be able to look more into that inner wisdom and to be able to develop the channel, the language, the communication for that wisdom to be able to come forward. Because sometimes that wisdom isn't even just for you. Sometimes that wisdom is something that you can share with others. And, again, a big thing that we do here in the community, and I'll just say this real quick, and welcome again to those of you tuning on Instagram and TikTok. If anything we say resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. So within our community, we have our Patreon. When you guys sign up on Patreon, that gives you a chance to be able to connect into the team that we've been building of conscious creators and community leaders, conscious media creators. And within this, a big thing that we really talk about is being able to help people become better channels for creative energy. And a lot of people, they have all these creative ideas, but they don't have a way to be able to move this energy into this tangible reality due to not being able to feel confident, or maybe just not being entirely familiar with how to use certain technologies and stuff. So in a relationship to this card, one of the things I'm super passionate about in terms of being able to help support our Patreon supporters and our community members is really being able to help assist people with being able to become clearer channels for consciousness. And in the process of doing that, it's becoming clearer channels for the divine wisdom within ourselves. And how do we bring that out into the world? Like I said, that's a question that we get to live. So if that resonated with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. I invite you guys to be able to leave an affirmation based on the message of this card. So write out a little I am or a little we are affirmation. And please feel free to leave that into the chat or just speak it to yourself. So I'll do one real quick and then we'll get right into our next reading for Starseeds Unite, who contributed on PayPal. And thank you so much for doing that. So quick affirmation in this moment as I listen to the wisdom within my heart. I am remembering and honoring the fact that I am cosmic divinity incarnated into this experience as a human being so that I can go through the process of forgetting and to experience the joy of remembering. So something like that, something like that. Welcome to Late Night Inspirational Tarot. My name is Brendan, aka Mystic Spider-Man. Super happy to be able to have you guys here. It's a bit of a small crowd tonight, but that, like this card itself, that doesn't mean anything less. The fact that we got a small card, the fact that we got a small group, just means that the people who are here, you guys are here for a reason. And I hope the fact that you are here for a reason, you know, this is a pretty rare moment. There's like a gajillion other people not tuned into this broadcast right now, and yet somehow you guys are tuned in right now. That's pretty cool. There must be something here for you. So pretty awesome. Andrea, just saw your contribution on PayPal. Thank you so much, Andrea. You guys are going to keep the readings going throughout at least the next little while. And Andrea and Starseeds Unite, super appreciate your guys' contributions. With any of the contributions that you guys send through, the PayPal, super appreciated. The Patreon, also something that I would encourage you guys to look at. So Andrea, even with what you sent over, if you change your mind, you're like, you know what, maybe I want to put some of that towards the Patreon sign up, feel free to do that. And I can even like refund like a little bit of what you sent there. Because again, with the Patreon sign up, and I'll just plug this real quick. First of all, we do have some upcoming events for our Patreon supporters, including the Dream Discussion Circle that Lacey and I are hosting. And that's coming up this Saturday. So Patreon supporters, you guys get to join in for that. And also, I did just update the Patreon, and now at the $33 level, that's the best value for the Patreon. That's a $33 month level. That's where you guys can also, if you contribute at that level, get a complimentary Light Guardian Crystal. So if you guys have been thinking about getting a Light Guardian Crystal, take a look at the $33 level on Patreon if that works for you. And then you can get a Light Guardian Crystal. I just ask that you guys pay shipping for that. And yeah, that's a super awesome way to not only be able to receive that, but to be able to help support what we're doing. And I've already kind of said this, but again, the support that we're cultivating here through me hustling and holding space for you guys, it's not just for me, it's for Lacey, it's for our family. Like Lacey's like asleep in bed right now. She's like, I took care of her all day today. I'm like, all right, babe, I'm gonna put you to sleep and then I'm gonna go hustle for a bit. So here we are up late, and again, this is me. Like I used to do a bunch of late night readings. Usually I do these in the mornings, but late night has kind of got like a cool vibe. So again, if you guys Starseeds Unite, Andrea, if you guys change your mind, and if you guys are like, know what, I want to join the Patreon, go ahead, because the Patreon contributions don't process to the first of each month, and I'm more than happy to just even be able to like refund anything, and you guys let me know what works for you. But if you're looking to be able to contribute, definitely take a look at the Patreon and see if that resonates with you. Take a look at the tiers and see which one resonates with you, because there's a lot of awesome stuff coming up there. So let's move into this next reading. Starseeds Unite. We're going to kind of move through these pretty fluidly. I'm going to invite you to be able to choose which deck you would like to draw from. So the way how we're going to do this, and I know you've been tuned in for previous ones, so I think you got a gist of how it is that we do things here. The way how we do this, you're going to be able to choose from one of the decks that we commonly use. And then from there, we'll do a little bit of a meditation and I'll guide you through it. And then on your intuition, you're going to type now into the chat. And then at that point, that's when we split the deck. So Starseeds Unite, go ahead and let me know which deck you would like to be able to use. Would you like to use the Lightworker Oracle deck, the Ananda Tarot deck, which is like traditional tarot, the Sacred Spirit deck, or the Hero's Journey deck, which is what we just drew from as well? And as we do this, if you guys can leave a nice thank you for Andrea and for Starseeds Unite in the chat, please go ahead and do that. Even though again, I know it's a small crew right now. I think it's like Andrea, Starseeds Unite, and maybe one other person in the YouTube right now, and then we got a few people on TikTok and Instagram. Abby, thank you so much again for joining in. Abby, I hope that last reading for you was meaningful. And again, please feel free to stick around. This isn't just about the tarot readings. This is about building a community. So if you guys are looking to connect with our community, the Discord link for our community is in my profile, as well as the Patreon there. So I would definitely encourage you guys to check out the Patreon when you get a chance. Traditional, we're going to do the Ananda Tarot deck. Awesome. Sounds like a good plan. All right. So let's do this real quick. Again, we'll just kind of keep a good flow going here because I do want to be able to honor everyone's time. And Andrew, if you have to jump out at some point, just go ahead and let me know. We can always work in some readings for you during other broadcasts as well. So beautiful. One thing I do just have to be mindful of is my throat chakra. There's a lot of talking and a lot of energy that goes into doing these broadcasts, so I just have to be mindful that if my throat gets a little bit tired, that means it's time for me to go to bed. But I'll do my best to be able to keep hanging out with you guys here, and let's keep things rolling. Abby, if you want to join in on YouTube, again, feel free to click the link in my profile, and the YouTube link is there. And again, the audio is better on YouTube and stuff too. So we're going to do the Ananda Tarot deck. So shout out again to Starseeds Unite on our YouTube channel. And for everybody here, just inviting you to be able to join us in a quick little meditation. And Starseeds Unite, again, we'll just do a little bit of a meditation, tap into gratitude, set the intention, show us what we need to see. For anybody tuned in right now, this next reading, it's for anybody tuned in. So Starseeds is going to help facilitate it, but it's for anybody who's tuned in right now, hence the team reading aspect. So we'll tap into our heart, focus on gratitude, focus on the intention, show us what we need to see, and then at that point, Starseeds, I'll invite you to take a few more breaths, and then listening to your intuition, you'll type now into the chat. So Starseeds, just go ahead and confirm that you're ready. You can just type ready into the chat, and then we'll get right into this next reading for you guys. So I appreciate you guys being here. The readings that we've been doing in the morning, they've been pretty awesome, and I'm so glad that more people are able to jump into this for our late night shift. If I can do the late night shifts on the regular, that'd be kind of fun. Not exactly sure how often I'll be able to do that. That's why like I don't have like a schedule for my late night shifts. It was just kind of like, oh, I'm up, let's do it. So give me 2 seconds here. I'm just gonna turn on the fan. Cool. And we'll keep things rolling here. And Andrea, Starseeds Unite, appreciate you guys being here. For everybody tuned in. And yeah, let's dive into this. And we'll keep an eye open for any new contributions on PayPal or Patreon, but no rush on that. You guys have got enough fuel pumped into this thing to keep it going for the next little bit. So let's dive into it. If anybody wants to join in on Twitch, please feel free. And the Twitch stream, I don't know how, not many people are here on Twitch, but I'll post it into the YouTube chat. I'm working on building the Twitch stream. We currently got 1 person tuned in on Twitch right now, so working on reaching that Twitch audience, because that's how more people discover it. Sometimes, like every now and then, like more people just like happen to stumble across it on Twitch. So it's pretty cool. I'd love to be able to reach our Patreon goal of 100 tonight. We're currently at 99, working towards 111. If we can reach 100 on Patreon tonight, like that'd be cool. No pressure though. You guys are awesome. All right, let's do this. And Starseeds Unite, you're ready. Andrea holding the fort as well. And yeah, let's dive deep. So for everybody here, just inviting you to join us in a quick little meditation. When you're ready, go ahead and gently close your eyes. And so for Starseeds, for everybody here, just allow yourself to connect with your breath. Soft, gentle inhales, soft, gentle exhales. And as you breathe here, just allowing yourself to be in the space of gratitude. Gratitude for yourself, for the space, for the messages, for the team. And from the space of gratitude, Starseeds, and for everybody here, allow yourself to focus your attention on the intention. Show us what we need to see. We being the individual, we being the collective, we being the team. And as you focus in on this intention, I want you to speak with your heart, speak with your mind, speak with your words, speak with your soul. Starseeds, listening to your intuition, go ahead and take a few more breaths here. When you're ready, gently open your eyes and type now into the chat. For everybody else, when you're ready, you can open your eyes now and feel free to type your wizard noises into the chat. And I'll charge up the deck a little bit more and then we'll split the deck once we see that now. So here we go. The magic ripples through the air. Each and every day is another opportunity for us to truly see all the magic that is here to be. As we climb these mountains up to new heights, we allow ourselves to truly shine this light. For deep within the caves, we will find treasures that we are just waiting to unwind. To fold back time upon itself as Starseeds types now. Choo 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 choo. We shall see what card is pulled off the shelf. Pwah, 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 pwah. Beautiful. All right, so this is a card for again anybody who's tuned in right now with Starseeds. Starseeds Unite is actually the name of the user on YouTube. Oh, hey Sharon, that's funny. That's weird. As I like, speaking of Starseeds, Sharon just joined just as I literally, I think right as I said the phrase Starseeds Unite, which in this context was referring to the username, but that's funny. And here we go. Speaking of awesome people, Sharon, you showed up just on time. I think we pulled this card probably for everybody. So this card that we have pulled is the Queen of Swords. So for everybody tuned in right now, the card that we have just pulled is the Queen of Swords. So just give me 2 seconds here. We're just going to open it up from the book. And from there, I'm going to read a little bit from the book. We're going to just explain what it looks like visually. And then from there, we're just going to channel some additional insight and meaning from this card. So this is using the traditional Ananda Tarot. For anybody who's on YouTube right now, or TikTok and Instagram, for those of you here, click the link in my profile, tune in on YouTube. So let's dive a little bit deeper. All right, so looking at this card visually, again, if you're here, this card is for you. So I'm showing the card to the webtop camera. Webtop? What did I just say? Webcam? Laptop camera? That's what I meant to say. So for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, join in on YouTube and you can see what I'm showing there properly. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful image here. This is actually, it's really cool because this is actually the image card from the top of the deck, like from the book itself. So a very iconic card. So looking here, we can see this beautiful, beautiful, like goddess-like figure with this illuminated light at the center of their brow. And obviously a lot of symbolism going on here. You can see kind of the checkerboard-ish, even though it's not the checkerboard. It looks like the checkerboard, but it's not. But you can see this kind of landscape with a variety of symbols below it. You can kind of see like a little bit of like a Freemason compass thing with a pillar. That's actually like a doorway with someone standing in the doorway. Again, I'm just explaining literally what we're looking at right now, and then we'll get more into deciphering. And then a key down here on the ground with some streams and some different landscapes behind there. With you can see there's even like some like streams and currents and some galaxies and spirals right from the top of their head. And a moon, there's like 2 moons. There's like a new moon on each side. It's very faint. It's very hard to see there. Give me 2 seconds. My fan's making a noise here. Doing fan. Yeah. All right, let's dive deeper here. You guys are awesome. Let's keep things rolling here. And yeah, oh, it looks like my YouTube. Right on. All right, so again, for those of you tuning on any platform, thank you guys so much. If you're here, this message is for you. If you guys want to contribute anything on PayPal and Patreon, go ahead and do that, but we're going to keep the readings rolling. So as I read this, just allow yourself to like meditate, to like, that's one of the gifts that I use is I use my voice to really just be able to kind of like speak in a way that like resonates to your heart chakra. So feel free to just close your eyes as I read this to you. And if anything I say resonates, drop an 1111 in the chat. Queen of Swords, the image. With clear glances and contained within its own mind, a graceful female being opens a door to the heart level, letting light into the world. Meaning, in the connection of the air element with the water element, the clear cognitive powers of thought unite with the creative abilities of the psyche. The Queen of Swords represents a female aspect of the air element. Mental clarity paired with fantasy and soul power identify a receptive being, which in spite of a clearly differentiated ability for recognition, can be capable of even deeper receptivity. On this deep level of receptiveness, the inner connection to all living things is accessible and can start a process of soul and mental awakening. The Queen of Swords represents a great creative potential. Mental openness results in constant mental stimulation. The steady flow of thoughts makes possible a creative transference of different, diverse ideas. A clear mind with the ability for solving problems creatively is in the position to be freed from dependencies and to think not only for itself, but also for others. I'm going to go back to that second paragraph. I just want to reread it again. Mental clarity paired with fantasy and soul power identify a receptive being, which in spite of a clearly differentiated ability for recognition, can be capable of even deeper receptivity. On this deep level of receptiveness, the interconnection to all living beings is accessible and can start a process of soul and mental awakening. Astrological significance: Sun, Moon, Aquarius, water, and air elements. Keywords: compassion, independence, individuality, intuition, alertness, clarity, inspiration, learning ability. Traditional meaning: wise insight, recognitions, ability, freedom, agility, brightness, variety of ideas, comprehension, ability to concentrate. All right, so let's dive a little bit deeper here. If you were listening to that card and maybe some of it kind of like went over your head, no worries. Like, that's totally fine. Like, there's kind of like a lot of words in that card, and we'll break it down. That's my job, is just to be able to kind of like bring the message to you in a way that will make it easy for you to be able to receive and digest. So with this card, this is actually a very, very beautiful, very, very powerful card. And with any of these cards, again, these cards are really just archetypes. They're representing aspects of ourselves that we can begin to bring a little bit more focus to. So when we're talking about the Queen of Swords, the swords in themselves within tarot, they often represent the mind. And so in this case, it's referring to the specific attributes of the mind that are really encouraging us to develop more of that clear cognitive power, more of that clarity, but not just clarity just in a general sense, but clarity very much into the previous card that we were talking about, clarity to be able to see like the bigger cosmic picture. And from that perspective of the bigger cosmic picture, to really be able to begin to imagine new things that have yet to manifest within this reality, to really focus our energies on being this bridge for thought into the material form. So this is where, again, on this level, it's really about being able to feel into the bigger picture, to feel into our connection to the bigger story of what it is we are from the perspective of that higher divinity consciousness. So the Queen of Swords represents a great creative potential, and the reason for this is because with the teachings of the Queen of Swords, it's really giving us this opportunity to remind ourselves that we are tapped into this infinite ocean of energy, this infinite ocean of creative potential, this infinite ocean of ideas. And with this, it's also about being able to, again, the mental openness results in a constant mental stimulation. The steady flow of thoughts makes possible a creative transference of diverse ideas. It's about being able to develop our abilities as channels for consciousness. It's about really being able to develop a deeper relationship. So we are these literal, again, I like to think of consciousness as kind of moving through us like water, which again is a lot of what this card is about. The water is the creative energy flow, and the air is associated often with the mind. So it's really about being able to bring our attunement of our mind to the point where we are in this constant ability to be able to open up to the infinite creative flow that's coming through us at all times. And in the process of doing this this is about really being able to tap into deep insights, really being able to tap into like deep truths that can liberate us, that can really liberate us to the chains that we've been kind of unconsciously creating within ourselves and society. If you look at society, a lot of the conditioning in society is actually quite the opposite of this card. It's very rigid. It sticks to a few ideas. It locks something in, and then it says, don't question it. Don't question this. Don't question that. With this card, this is a card that's really about seeking comprehension. And so again, with this card, receiving this card, and for us to talk about this card, see this card as an opportunity for you to not only know that this capacity is inside of you, but to perhaps again serve as a mirror to nudge you along the way, to really be able to reflect on your potential, to be able to develop more of that agile mind, to be able to tap into more of your mental acuity and more of your mental freedom. And in the process of doing so, you can again allow yourself to really begin to see more of these bright ideas, but not just be able to see them, but ability to be able to concentrate them individually, and also to be able to bring them into this reality, to be able to again be that world bridger, the one who can kind of like take a thought that's kind of like out there in the ether and bring it here. Like, we are literally, this is a very, very powerful idea. We are literally ambassadors of thought, ambassadors of the ether. Before something materializes in this reality, it begins as energy, it begins as thought. And so as the Queen of Swords, it's really being able to identify and be like, oh, that thought right there, that's a powerful thought. That thought that's that's core roots are anchored in compassion, and again about being able to like serve the bigger picture of humanity. Grab that thought, like hold it, and then bring it into this reality. So it's about being able to kind of like see more of the thoughts that are moving around in the ether, and then being able to identify which of those thoughts are the meaningful thoughts that can change the world. Like there's different types of thoughts, right? There's some ideas that are like really really powerful. These are again like things, some of the things we were kind of talking about, this idea that like you are divinity in blue jeans. That's a really really big idea. Like imagine if that was like on the front page of the newspaper one day. Just imagine like how much of a difference that would mean to the world. So with this is also about really being able to tap into more of our creative potential, and our diversity in terms of how we can use our creative potential to be able to help inspire others. So using our creative potential with the combination of the intuitive, energetic, watery like ability to be able to kind of feel the thoughts moving through us, but then the mental agility and acuity of the sword like air element to be able to see those specific thoughts and to be able to kind of like align with them in a specific moment, to be able to say that thought right there, that's a powerful thought, that's a thought worth acting on, that's a thought worth embodying, that's a thought worth being able to really anchor into this reality. So again, with this card, and I'll just riff upon this for a little bit because we're going to move into some more readings as we go. This is a card that really invites us to be able to acknowledge the intuition that we're already cultivating, and also again to be able to know that there is more intuition for us to be able to cultivate. And with this card, it really is about the expansion of consciousness, and with that comes inspiration. Through the expansion of consciousness, it's like being able to like hold a bigger bowl for all these ideas. Sometimes we grow up and we have like a little like kiddie cup. It's like a little small little cup, and then it's like here's all the ideas you get, and that's all you get to hold. And it's like, this is it. Like this is like, maybe the institution is the one who gave you that cup. Screw the cup they gave you. Craft your own cup, craft your own bowl, craft like something as big as you want to be able to hold it. And then in the process of doing that, allow these creative energies to really begin to pour into it. And then from there, you have the diversity to be able to select from a variety of these thoughts. And then again, in the process of doing that, it's about really being able to understand that when you allow yourself to be able to receive more of this conscious flow of creative energy, it is also this energy that is not just kind of coming down from top, but it's coming out from the heart. So it's the energy that is really being able to move through the heart. So this card is a lot to do with the expansion of the heart energy, the expansion of the compassion energy, the queen being able to again tend to the kingdom, so to speak. So this is a very very powerful card, and again, it really really invites us to be able to step more into the clear cognitive powers of thought when united with the creative abilities of the psyche, of the mind. So really being able to invite us to utilize more of the creative potential that we have, to wield those ideas with intention, and thus being able to bring them more into this world with clarity, and in such a way that will not only inspire others, but it will liberate them as well. So and lead them back to their heart. That's kind of one of the simple things that I always remind people of, is really being able to lead people back to the wisdom of their heart. So the Queen of Swords is very much a card that reminds us of our mission to be able to do that through the ability of really being able to feel into those ideas and bring them into this reality. So practice some meditation, clean your room, get some clarity, and allow yourself to really begin kind of like writing out some of these ideas if you need to. Organize them in such a way where you can see them on paper. Sometimes when we just keep the thoughts in our mind, it's really hard to just kind of like go back and remember, like, what was that thought? Oh, I had a really cool thought yesterday. What was it? Like, it's hard to access it all at once. So write down your thoughts on paper, write them into a text document on a computer, whatever the case may be. And again, for those of us who are conscious creators, for those of us who again are within the community that I facilitate, our conscious media creators, this is a big thing we talk about. Really being able to bring some of those ideas and to not just kind of sit with them, but to really be able to move them into our creative expression through our content and through our community and through the ways that we're again being able to share our voice and our inspiration. So Queen of Swords. Let's move into the next reading, but that's a super, super powerful card. So for you guys here, if that resonated with you, or if that even just inspired you, if there's something I said there that was like, oh yeah, thanks for the reminder, thanks for helping me remember, drop an 1111 in the chat and go ahead and drop a little affirmation based on the teaching of this card. So quick little affirmation based on the teaching of this card. Write it out as an I am or we are affirmation. So I am, I'll just do a practice and you guys can do it too. I am continuing to develop my ability to be able to connect to more of the infinite creative ideas and to be able to bring them into my heart space and thus out into the world through creative expression in a way that will serve others as we continue to liberate our consciousness. So something like that. If you guys want to leave a little I am or we are affirmation in the chat, go ahead and do that real quick. And thank you guys again so much for tuning in here. So thank you again, Starseeds Unite, for your contribution on PayPal, for helping initiate that reading, for helping, again, helping us draw that card. Super, super powerful reading. And I know for a lot of people, they're just like, oh, like, thanks. I needed to hear that. So beautiful. Andrea, thank you again for your support as well. Let's get right into the next reading. And Starseeds Unite, if you want the write-up for that, feel free to direct message me on Instagram and I can send you the picture for the write-up there. So Andrea, if you would like to be able to facilitate the next reading with us, we would just ask that you pick a deck. And for anybody who did want to be able to share any of their affirmations in the chat, go ahead and do those and we can read a couple of those on air. So Andrea, inviting you to be able to choose which deck you would like to be able to use for the next reading, and for the next reading after this, Andrea, you can pay it forward if you want. You can kind of like pass it off to someone else. If you have to head out early, that's fine. Whatever works for you. We'll keep things going here. I don't want to stay up too late though. I feel like I need to like set my bedtime like no later than probably like an hour from now. Even then, that's pushing it. But I'll let you guys know. And again, if you guys are tuned in for future ones, we'll definitely just kind of like move the readings around. So Starseeds Unite says, I am a mediator between spirit and physical. There you go. That's a great way of summarizing it. Andrea, which deck would you like to use? We have Sacred Spirit, Hero's Journey, Lightworker Oracle deck, or the traditional Ananda Tarot deck, which is the one that we just had there. So I'll just take a quick moment here and guys, give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to use the bathroom. I'm drinking coffee here, so I just want to make sure that I'm nice and comfortable. And Andrea, let me know which deck we're using and we'll get right into this. If you guys want to be able to share this broadcast with your friends, go ahead. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, join in with the rest of the team on YouTube. You can go ahead and click the link in my profile, and through there you'll find the link for the YouTube, and we'll get right into our next reading as soon as I'm back from this quick intermission. So stand by. All right, and we are back. All right, thank you, Andrea. We're going to do the Sacred Spirit deck. Let's get right into this, and we'll do as many readings as I can before we have to call it a night here. And again, I'll be back live on air for more readings tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. No, 11 a.m. EDT. That's my schedule. So, all right. I'm surprised we don't have more people tuned in on Twitch. I'll be honest. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how how that works with Twitch, if there's more that I can do to be able to help more people tune in. So just kind of checking real quick here in terms of how many people are tuned in within the tarot category right now. Not a lot. So it's late at night right now, so That makes sense. Cool. All right, well, let's move into this next reading here. Andrea, let me know if you're ready, and we'll do that quick little meditation. I think you saw the first time, so let's get ready to move right into this. And Universalo, thank you so much for joining in. These I didn't make these decks. However, the artwork from the Sacred Spirit deck is actually by a friend of mine. This is artwork by Lewis Dyer. So, all right. As we do this next reading, if anybody wants to contribute on the PayPal or the Patreon, you guys are more than welcome to do that. And again, quick reminder, if you guys join on the $33 level on the Patreon, you guys can get one of the beautiful Light Garden crystals. This one's actually a Lumerian Light Garden crystal, so the ones you would get would be a little bit different. If you join at the higher levels on the Patreon, even at the, I think it's like the $69 level, then you can actually get one of the Lumerian Light Garden crystals, which are higher tier and more rare. So Andrea is ready. Thank you so much again, Andrea. Appreciate everybody joining in, adding their support. Let's keep things rolling here. Again, for anybody tuned in, these readings and these messages are for you. So let's do a quick little meditation. And Andrea, I'll guide you through this. And again, just follow my lead. And again, as you get to the point where you're just focusing on your intuition, you'll just type now into the chat, and then we'll split the deck at your command. So here we go. Thank you again to those of you tuned in on Twitch. It's a quiet night here for tarot on Twitch, but we're live on YouTube at the same time. So thank you for those of you tuning in on Twitch right now. All right, here we go. So for everybody here, when you're ready, go ahead and gently close your eyes. And just allow yourself to connect with your breath. Soft, gentle inhales, and soft, gentle exhales. As we breathe here, just allowing ourselves to just be in this space of gratitude in our hearts. Gratitude for ourselves, for the space, for this community, for the messages we are here to receive. And so for Andrea and for everybody here, focusing our intention on the intention, show us what we need to see. We being the individual, we being the collective, we being the team. Show us what we need to see. And so for Andrea and for everyone, go ahead and speak that intention with your heart. Speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Kind of like imagine like shooting like a beam of light up into the heavens, so to speak, sending out that intention, anchoring in this message for all of us. And so as you just have that intention within your heart, Andrea, go ahead and take a few more breaths, listening to your intuition at your own pace. When you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and type now into the chat, and then we'll split the deck. For everybody else, when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and feel free to type your wizard noises into the chat, and we'll charge the deck up a little bit more. Here we go. And so it's a full moon and we're here to party because there's no better way than to get things started by pulling tarot here late at night, because we got a party and my goodness, we're doing it right, because this is a place where I want to be with the fellow mystics and seekers as we learn to see all the magic that is here and now across this land as we continue to rise and to take our stand. And so as Andrea types now into the chat, pwa, 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 we shall split the deck and see what message the universe has. Chua, 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 chua. I literally can't do it without making sound effects. I've tried, so. All right, the card that we have pulled. There we go. The card that we have pulled for, again, anybody who tuned in right now, with Andrea helping facilitate it, with Andrea's cue, is card number 13. Emotional challenges. Resolve the issue. Card number 13, emotional challenges, resolve the issue. So just give me a moment here. We're just going to open up the deck and then we'll explain the card literally. We'll read from the deck and then we'll dive a little bit deeper with some additional inspiration and channeling. As we're doing this, again, if anybody else would like to be able to contribute on PayPal to be able to add their list to the readings on air, go ahead and do that. I can't stay up too late tonight. So if we don't get to your reading tonight, we can definitely do it another time. You guys can also reach out for me for individual readings. Again, if you guys join on the Patreon at the $33 level, then you can also get one-on-one readings with me monthly. The $33 level on the Patreon is definitely the best deal. And yeah, I would definitely encourage you guys to check out and see which tier on the Patreon resonates with you. Let's focus in on this reading here. So again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, join in on YouTube, click the link in my profile, and you'll be able to see the camera here. So again, for everyone who's here, this message is for you. So let's look at this card here. So again, card number 13, emotional challenges, resolve the issue. Beautiful artwork again by our friend Lewis Dyer. This very multi-dimensional image of a face, and this beautiful, again, just kind of like golden light. But what you can see specifically here, there's actually like golden tears. There's actually tears running down their face, and in their palms, they're actually holding like a little puddle of what appear to be tears in their hand. But the tears themselves, they almost look like they're like gold. They're like golden light. And then you have this beautiful figure here again with almost multiple eyes. Very kind of reminds me of like a Spongel poster. And you can see the brow chakra like illuminated. Kind of looks like a bird, kind of a very bird face, but also a very bird-like wing with the kind of expansion of the crown. Again, that's just me explaining it literally. So let's dive a little bit deeper here. For anybody here, just go ahead and listen. Close your eyes if you want to, and just allow yourself to be present as I read this for you and speak from my heart to yours. So if you're here, this message is for you. And if anything we say resonates, drop an 1111 in the chat. Here we go. Card number 13. Emotional challenges. Express yourself clearly. Resolve the issue. It is not uncommon for individuals to experience regular emotional challenges. A part of the human experience is to go through different stages of the emotional wheel, from love, joy, and happiness to grief, sadness, and betrayal. Not all emotions can be conveyed at once, and therefore a process of understanding our current and past feelings to move forward with an issue or challenge is essential. I'm going to reread that part. That part's pretty important. Not all emotions can be conveyed at once, and therefore a process of understanding our current and past feelings to move forward with an issue or challenge is essential. We can't always be light and fluffy. We must acknowledge feelings such as anger or bitterness. Refusing to acknowledge personal anger, resentment, or mistreatment towards yourself will only leave you feeling depressed, with your self-worth being sacrificed just to please others. Right now, you are experiencing an emotional challenge. You may be feeling overwhelmed. Have you had your trust broken or felt betrayed from people close to you? You may have been hurt by others either physically or emotionally. Know that you have the resilience and strength you need within to overcome this challenge in life. This is a temporary phase. You must acknowledge your emotions now if you would like to move forward quickly. It is important to remember not to dwell on events for too long, as they can keep you stuck and stagnant in life. Verbal confrontations are possible now. Attempt meditation to remove emotional charge out of the conversation. Attempt mediation to remove the emotional charge out of the conversation so all parties can be heard and express themselves equally. Remember, you can only heal something you choose to acknowledge. If you have experienced a traumatic event or continued cycles of emotional triggers, please seek a suitable professional that can help you unpack the emotional baggage and get you to the real cause of the issue. Shadow aspect: fear in displaying emotion, self-sabotage, denial. Sacred crystal: rhodonite. Angel assistance: guardian angel Joel. Stress: practicality, calmness, and awareness. And an affirmation that goes with this card: I acknowledge and express my emotions with ease and grace. So let's dive a little bit deeper here. Andrea dropping the 1111s in the chat. For anybody else here, as much as you feel called to do, go ahead and drop the 1111s in the chat. Obviously a very, very, very sensitive and personal card here. So let's just allow ourselves to take some time to just be able to explore a little bit more of the significance of this card and why we're receiving it right now. So again, with any of these cards, we receive these cards again as a way for us to be able to see parts of ourselves and for us to be able to receive some additional insight that in these moments can just be valuable reminders, valuable reassurance, valuable affirmations. So with this card, this is a very important card to be able to reflect on. And as the card says, you don't go through the human experience without experiencing challenges. One of the things that's interesting that's emphasized within this card is this idea that, you can only experience so many emotions at once. And there are going to be moments in our life where we're going to be experiencing a variety of emotions, even simultaneously. There are going to be moments where you're literally going to be able to feel sad and happy at the same time. You can feel angry and resentment, but at the same time, also solace and release at the same time. It really depends on your perspective. And sometimes your perspective can kind of be seeing things from multiple points of view. And with this card, it is really important to be able to kind of step back while still being in our heart space from the experience we're going through, to be able to acknowledge the circumstances, but also really to be able to acknowledge any of the emotion that is arising. Because what this card is really emphasizing, this idea that oftentimes, it's not even the emotions themselves that are actually the issue. It's often our resistance to the emotions that are the issues. When we experience things like anger and bitterness and any of those kind of, less than pleasant emotions, what we want to be able to do in those moments, and again, take everything with a grain of salt. Like, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm speaking from my own experience. What we want to be able to do is to be able to, first of all, not only acknowledge those feelings, but also to be able to get curious. To get curious, where is that feeling coming from? What is the deeper root of that feeling? And I think when we see those feelings that may be less pleasant, one of the things that's really, really powerful, this is big, and I hope you can take this with you for anybody who's tuned in. I hope this is something where you're like, oh man, like that's a good reminder. Our pain is also a messenger. And so what message is being sent when we experience the feelings and the emotions that we identify as being quite painful? What is it telling us? What is it pointing to? And again, this is where when we start to get curious about these, we begin to find how to be able to send love to the deeper parts of the roots, opposed to just, again, kind of like, like weed whacking our emotions. Be like, oh man, like, got some anger building up, let me just take the weed whacker there. There we go, solve that problem. And then like a week later, that anger is like popping back up again, and be like, oh crap, let me get the weed whacker. Like, is that your life sometimes? Welcome to the club of humanity, I guess. It happens, and there's no shame in the fact that it happens. But you owe it to yourself to really be able to, again, dig deeper into the roots. And maybe that means, kind of like pulling up some stones in the pavement, and really, again, just kind of like going into the dirt and really getting to the root of that. And so again, with these feelings, as it says here, refusing to acknowledge personal anger, resentment, or mistreatment towards yourself will only leave you feeling depressed, with your self-worth being sacrificed just to please others. So this is an important card that really reminds us that, put yourself first. Put your feelings first. In the long run, it's not worth it to be able to suppress your feelings to appease others. In relative circumstances, there's a time and a place. Absolutely. If it's something that in the process of doing so, it's going to avoid more unnecessary conflict, and maybe, sometimes you have to be very self-aware of your circumstance to be able to say, like, you know what? And this is, again, coming from experience. You may be angry. You may be feeling like bitterness and resentment, but check in with your throat chakra and just be able to check in and be like, okay, a part of me wants to say something right now. Do I need to say it right now? Not to say do I need to say it at all, but do I need to say it right now? If things are still pretty heated and things like that, maybe wait, like just wait out of curiosity. What would it feel like if, you just give it an extra day, and then as things are kind of, into a different vibration, and maybe things have settled, maybe things have come into more of awareness, then you might communicate a little bit more about what you're feeling, opposed to just kind of like throwing more gas into the fire. So with these emotional challenges, it's important to be able to really allow yourself to be able to observe what it is that you're experiencing from a place of response, opposed to purely just from a place of reaction. And I know sometimes that can be easier said than done, But a lot of times when it comes to these emotional challenges, honestly, just being able to connect with the breath is one of your biggest allies. Being able to connect with the breath. You feel the emotion rise, use that as a cue to be able to say, okay, I'm going to take a breath rather than just kind of like do what my nerves want me to do right this moment. I'm going to take a breath. And maybe that energy you can actually move through the body. You can dissipate it through the body. And a lot of times, the emotional things that we're feeling can be a result of many different things, but oftentimes it's actually stagnant energy. What we hold inside of us literally can kind of cultivate over days and weeks. And when it does that, this is actually where ailments arise. Sometimes, ailments literally arise through this energy that's like held in our body. And so one of the things that we can actually do, instead of, yeah, I'm frustrated, yeah, I'm angry, instead of taking that anger out on another person and telling them how much you think they're a piece of shit because they didn't do XYZ, and maybe they weren't self-aware enough to realize what your needs were in a certain circumstance. Instead, identify what your needs are, and not to say that, don't tell them how you feel, but before you just spew out this like fiery acid on them, instead shout out to all the fire signs. Like I live with the Sagittarius. I know what it's like, and I'm a water sign, right? So we kind of balance, but I have Sag in me, so I'm like kind of both. Instead, find your other routes to be able to move that energy. Exercise, movement, dance, somatic work, shake your body, do some vocal exercise. You're feeling kind of crappy, you're feeling kind of heavy, throw it down hard to one of your favorite songs, put on some like crazy music that you just love, and then see how you feel. And then notice how that in itself may actually change your approach to the circumstance that you may be going into. And you realize that, as much as you do want to tell someone to go, go climb a tree, so to speak. Is that what you tell people to do? Is that even like that doesn't even sound like an insult. That's just like a kindergarten way of telling someone to frick off. So, but anyways, instead of just being able to react, it's important for you to really be able to develop a deeper awareness, and in some cases a maturity with how you are relating to your emotional challenges. How you're relating to your emotional challenges is something that we evolve over time. And this is speaking from experience. There were circumstances way back in my past where I would get really jealous and angry about circumstances, and it would just dwell and dwell, and I'd be like, blah, and I just turn into like this like worthless, annoying piece of human, and no one wanted to be around me, right? I'm sure we've all been there. And again, I'm like laughing about this because this is a younger version of myself. But then over time, I was actually starting to get more into meditation, and the meditation allowed me to be able to see things from a different perspective, and I still felt those emotions, but I began to process them. I began to move through them. I began to have conversations with myself. I began to talk to people. I began to move my body. I began to integrate it. I began to this is something that you can literally do. Sometimes what I do, I mean, I haven't had to do this. I mean, I guess it still happens every now and then. If there's a certain circumstance that you're going into, what you can actually do is almost like meditate on a shitty situation happening that may or may not happen. Imagine it happening, run it through your brain as like a simulation. Imagine what it would feel like, sit with that feeling, process that feeling, move it through your body, and then kind of move out into that experience in the real world. And then if that situation does or does not happen, you'll be able to show up to it differently, opposed to just reacting in that moment. When it does happen, let's say it does happen, it arises to you, and instead of just being able to be like, oh, what, oh no, this is such a surprise, oh, da, 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 da. Instead you meet it with a breath, and you meet it with a and you have that responsibility to be able to have worked through that emotional challenge before it even happened. It's kind of like going into the holodeck, or kind of like having a dream about something before it even happens. And again, in the process of doing that, notice how it may change your ability to be able to show up in a circumstance, and even guide a conversation, lead the situation. It's not to say that, again, anger and frustration is bad. There's a time and a place for it. Like sacred anger, I'm all about sacred anger. I'm all about sacred rage. Like, get angry, because in certain circumstances, anger and rage is literally just love in disguise. The only reason you're angry about something is because you care about something. And there are certain things in your life that you should be angry about. Like, that's okay. But when you allow yourself to be able to wield that with mindfulness and intention, opposed to just being like a wild animal, just jumping all over the place like a wild horse, like, whoa, you gotta tame that stallion. And then as you do that, you can really begin to take that anger, and you can actually transform it, to alchemize it into what could literally be a well articulated expression of your emotion. And you can like you can politely tell someone how pissed off you are, like, and fully express your anger. Like, that's possible. You can be like, look, we need to sit down and talk. Like, I need to tell you that here's what I experienced. This is my perspective, these are my feelings, and I want to be able to like hold both of us accountable to be able to do things different next time. This is a key thing. I'll say this here, and we'll get close to wrapping this up, because I think you guys have got the message, and I'm seeing your guys' chats, and welcome to Earth Abby onto the YouTube. Thank you for joining in, and Journey Within, thank you for joining in as well. But one of the things I'll just say here, and again, I hope this is something that you guys can really just resonate with. Yeah, as I'm just my throat's getting a little dry here. In certain circumstances where emotional challenges arise, and it's like you and another person, remember this: it's not you versus the other person. It's you and the other person versus the scenario, versus the circumstance. That can change the perspective entirely. That can completely change the game. Because, you know, especially if it's like with couples, or even work partners, colleagues, even friends, you know, instead of being able to just be like, fuck you, and you just release on them, instead, you're still on the same team as them, as much as you choose to be. But if you are perceiving it from that perspective, then instead it's like you're moving that energy not just directly at them, but towards the solution, towards being able to say like, look, me yelling at you isn't necessarily going to just fully solve something. Let's work together here. It's me and you versus the situation, not me versus you. Because if it's me versus you, then no one's going to win. And it's just going to go back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth in some sort of crazy cycle that just perpetuates more frustration, right? So allow yourself to be able to see things from that higher perspective. So you must acknowledge your emotions now if you would like to move forward. It is important to remember not to dwell on events for too long, as they can keep you stuck and stagnant in life. So this is, again, a very, very powerful card, and it reminds us that emotions are energy in motion. And if you feel these emotions and these frustration and all these things building up, it's your responsibility to do something with them. Nobody else is going to take care of those emotions for you. It's okay to reach out for help. That's totally fine. That's totally cool. But you have to be able to develop this sovereignty where when these emotions arise, you know what you can do with them. And there's always a move you can make. Remember that. And sometimes, again, instead of just like getting into an argument, sometimes maybe it's like, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to journal. I'm going to listen to the song. I'm going to take a hot shower. I'm going to spend some time in nature. I'm going to disconnect and watch something else on a favorite show that I like. I'm going to talk to a friend. Whatever the case may be, there's always a move you can make. So the emotional challenges are actually emotional opportunities. And I know we've talked about that plenty of times in different circumstances. So where within your life are you experiencing emotional challenges? Why am I holding the card backwards? I think I've been doing that for like a while now. Here's the front of the card. Ta-da. Where within your life are you experiencing emotional challenges? And how can you transmute those into opportunities for you to be able to cultivate more mindfulness, and for you to even lead the way in terms of the challenges that may not just be your challenge, that may be a challenge that involves other people as well. So affirmation: I acknowledge and express my emotions with ease and with grace. So if you guys resonate with this card, drop some 1111s in the chat. And yeah, discernment is key, absolutely. And thank you again, Andrea, for adding your contribution on the PayPal there, and helping us pull that card for the community, because I know a lot of people were definitely resonating with the card there, and we've got some good little chit chat going on here in the YouTube. So let's leave a quick little affirmation here. So take an opportunity here for everybody here. I invite and encourage you, write out a little affirmation based on the teaching of this card. So an I am or we are affirmation. Just Allow yourself to feel something that reiterates the message that you receive from this card. So, I am cultivating responsibility and awareness in relation to my emotions. As challenges arise, I will devote myself to be able to consciously move the energy in a productive way. Yeah, that's about it. And so it is. If you guys want to write out your affirmations in the chat, go ahead and do that. We'll read a couple on air, and plus other people get to read them too, and you guys can connect with each other on here. So, card number 13: emotional challenges. Resolve the issue. You guys got the power. You guys got the ability to do that. So, awesome card team. Keep an eye on the time. We'll do another reading. Andrea contributed a little bit extra on the PayPal, so we can keep doing some more readings for you guys. So I appreciate you guys joining in. And Andrea, we can, if you want to facilitate this next reading, or if you want, I can just kind of draw the next card really quick, and we can just kind of keep things going. That's totally cool. Hey Jess, thanks for joining in. We just had a good card that we just pulled, all about emotional challenges. So Andrea, thank you so much. And yeah, just reading some of your guys' chats here. Awesome. Thank you, Abby. I'm glad you're able to join in. We are the writers of our own scripts. Absolutely. And even more personal than that, you with yourself as well. Forgiving and letting go. Very well said, Andrea. Transmute that energy. Yes. Yes. Learn to remove triggers. Triggers are teachers, man. And I did breathwork workshop last weekend. Awesome. Happy to be able to have you guys here. This is some high quality late night tarot that we got going on here. So, all right. I'd love to just be able to get right into our next reading. I do just have to be mindful of my energy. It's quite late, and we still have another tarot broadcast tomorrow morning in the AM. So for anybody here, if you guys haven't already yet, I really do encourage each of you here to take a look at the Patreon and just see what tiers on there resonate with you. We keep it pretty affordable, and again, if you guys are fans of my work, supporting on the Patreon is one of the best ways to be able to help not only support me, but again, to be able to help for you to be able to receive additional support and get access to really cool events happening within the community, including the dream discussion coming up this Saturday. So if you guys want to join that, definitely go ahead and check out the Patreon. And again, Andrea and anybody else, if you guys want to like swap out your PayPal contribution and join the Patreon instead, that's totally cool. You guys just let me know what you want to do. And we do also do individual one-on-one readings as well. Again, at the $33 level on the Patreon, you guys can get one-on-one sessions with me on the monthly basis. And at the $33 level, which is the best value on the Patreon, you guys can also receive one of these beautiful light guarding crystals that I hand make for you, which is like a super awesome value there. So you get the monthly sessions with me, access to me as a conscious media creation coach, access to exclusive community events, and the light guardian crystal. Just ask that you pay shipping on that, and discounts for other stuff, and discounts for Lacey's art too. So awesome. Andrea says that card was exactly what I needed to hear as confirmation I am doing the right work for me right now. Beautiful, Andrea. I'm happy to be able to hear that. I'm glad that card reached you at the right time, and I know it was meaningful for other people too, which is why it's always exciting when we do it as a team. All right, team. Let's move into another reading here. All right. So, Andrew, do you want to choose which deck we want to do next, or do you guys want me to choose? Because Andrea contributed a little bit extra on PayPal, so Andrea is kind of the co-producer right now. So we can choose another deck. We can do Hero's Journey, Lightworker Oracle, Ananda Tarot deck, or Sacred Spirit deck, which is what we just did there. So if you want us to choose from one of the other decks, we can definitely do that. And I'll probably have to keep things no later than 3 a.m. I think, which is in about 45 minutes. So we'll keep going. Awesome. Andrea says, I will definitely look at Patreon and do that as well as a separate from this reading. Thank you, Andrea. And just to confirm again, with the Patreon, the contributions there only process on the first of each month. So you could literally sign up for like $1,000 on Patreon. I don't know. Maybe someone will do that. And it won't process until October 1st. So if that makes it easier for some of you, then again, just note that that's how the Patreon works. So basically when you sign up for the Patreon, if you sign up like right now in the month, you get like the rest of the month as like a free trial, more or less, so to speak. So awesome. All right, I'm gonna choose. Thank you, Andrea. Let's do the Lightworker Oracle deck. We haven't done that one tonight. That one's always a good go-to. So again, for anybody else who would like to be able to contribute on PayPal or Patreon, you guys are more than welcome to. Again, not really expecting that right now since we do have enough just to be able to keep the readings going until I'm ready to be able to jump off. But if you guys do want to be able to throw anything over onto the PayPal and Patreon, feel free. Or like I said, just feel free to check out the Patreon and join on there when it works for you. And I'll post a link for the Discord. We're doing a couple updates in the Discord, but if you guys connect to the Discord, we got some team meditations tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Our friend Lizzie is facilitating there. Carly is also doing some team tarot tomorrow, and then I have my team tarot at 11 a.m. as well. So all right, let's move into this next reading, and thank you guys so much. Hey Lisa, thank you so much for joining in. We're doing our late night tarot party here, like a crazy bunch of people that we are. What, you guys don't normally do tarot at 3 a.m. in the morning? What what of it? So all right. Okay, let's keep things rolling here, and let's do a quick Lightworker Oracle deck. I just got to be mindful of my energy, and yeah, let's keep things rolling. So quick little meditation for everybody here. Feel free to join and just collectively send forth that intention. Show us what we need to see. If you're tuned in right now, this reading is for you. So for everybody here, when you're ready, just go ahead and gently close your eyes. Nice, soft, gentle breaths there. Just allowing ourselves to be in our heart space. Gratitude. And for everybody here, collectively putting forth that intention. Show us what we need to see. And you can imagine like a beautiful beam of light shooting up from where you are into the heavens and connecting into this collective reading we're doing. Show us what we need to see. Speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. We being the collective, we being the individual, we being the team. And so for everybody here, just continue to focus on that. When you're ready, you guys can gently open your eyes, type your wizard noises into the chat, and I'll do a quick little split the deck. So, oh, and would you look at me? I'm doing that thing, that magical flow of tree. And now that Lisa's tuned in, you know I gotta bring the skin because we gotta put our skin in the game. We gotta keep winning each way because this is what we do at 3 a.m. each day. We're doing the tarot and this is how we play. Wiki, what? Splitting that deck. I don't normally do it that way, but for some reason that felt fun. So, all right. I'm just do I have any tape on it? 1 second. I'm just do I have this might work. Is this gonna work? I don't know if that will work. This is ridiculous. I don't normally have to do this. There's like, this card has like partial nudity in it, and I remember last time I like had to like block it off. Do I have any tape anywhere? I don't have any tape anywhere. What can I do to cover up the partial nudity on this card? I'm literally just being extra cautious. I have no problem with it. Don't look at me. I'm not the one who has a problem with it. It's the YouTube thing, man. Here we go. Is this, no, is that's not, where's my tape? Where's my tape? I gotta, do I have tape in this house? Surely I do. Don't I? I have no freaking idea. Do I have tape somewhere? Yeah, I do, but it's like not in this room. Oh. I'm making this way more complicated than I need to. Thought I had a piece of tape somewhere. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, guys. 2 seconds as Brendan tries to find some tape. Whatever, screw it, I don't care. Alright, okay. Anyways, we're just gonna do it. It's for educational purposes. That's okay. So nowadays, I don't know, man. Nowadays, you just have to be extra careful. Part of me's like still cautious. I don't know, man. It's TikTok, dude. TikTok will get like all like sensitive and stuff like that. So hold on. Is this piece of tape gonna work? This might work. Is this gonna work? There we go. Perfect. All right, we got it. Okay. It's a beautiful card. I didn't want to skip it, but we're good now. We have successfully solved this circumstance. Okay. All right. For those of you tuned in right now, thank you guys so much for being here. This is our next reading that we've got for the collective. For anybody who's tuned in, the card that we have pulled is card number 44, the seventh ray of ritual, order, and ceremony. So you can see here, I'm just going to move through this card. We're going to do these readings. It's going to kind of be like a little bit, maybe we can get in maybe 2 more readings after this. So we'll just do kind of like a not like a speed run of this, but I'll just keep it swift. And I have to be mindful of my voice too. So visual image here, what it is that we got this beautiful image of what you can see is like this group of women, and they're kind of arched over, but not in a way that's necessarily disempowered, but almost in a very theatrical way, in a ritualistic way. And there's another woman who is there kind of in the middle, and then you have this other woman who's kind of standing behind, bare-breasted, completely liberated, and you can kind of see that the other women are kind of creating this foundation, so there's like this tower of rising into the power, and this beautiful light kind of like shining down from the sky there. So let's dive a little bit deeper, and let's read here from the book. Again, thank you so much, Andrea, for your contribution, and yeah, for anybody who's here, this reading is for you. Cheers. All right, here we go. All right, if you're here, this message is for you. And if anything I say resonates, drop those 1111s in the chat. And again, we'll keep an eye open for any contributions on PayPal or Patreon. And if we do get a Patreon sign up tonight, I'll do a backflip or something like that. Not tonight, but like eventually I'll do a backflip, if that's fair. I can do backflips. I'm not pulling your leg there. So, all right, okay, let's keep things rolling here. And shout out to those of you who are on Twitch as well. I know we got a couple people tuned in on Twitch. All right, I was just moving some things around on my camera. Okay, here we go. Card number 44. Seventh Ray of Ritual, Order, and Ceremony. This is a really cool card. I know this card. When the gift of the seventh ray enters your life, something new is being formed, something that will benefit your world. There may be an increased interest in magic, ceremony, and ritual for healing purposes. Resonating with the high-frequency violet light and the archangel Zadkiel, the seventh ray also helps transmute energy from lower to higher frequency. It is a spiritual cleansing agent that allows the truth of spiritual freedom, empowerment, and choice to be seen and felt, restoring hope and joy to the heart. The seventh ray is very active upon the earth at this time. All of humanity is being affected by it. The seventh ray is push-pull between the old and the new, the life that has been and can no longer continue in that form, and the new life that wants to evolve from the old. It honors traditions and ancestral wisdom that serve new life. When the seventh ray enters your life, you are asked to balance your attachment to what has been with an openness to the new. Again, if anything I say resonates with you, drop an 1111. This card's for all of us, man. Like, this card is like really on point. So it is a time to fearlessly question what has been, honor what continues to hold value for you, and dismiss what no longer serves you. The seventh ray also creates form from invisible, intangible spiritual energy. These are the inspired solutions and synchronicities that seem to come out of nowhere. They are the sign of the divine order happening. The seventh ray brings in alignment with the divine order. And the more you are willing to invoke and allow that energy to bless you, the more your life will align itself with the genius of creativity, solutions, and loving opportunities the universe wants to bring into your world. The gift of ritual, order, and ceremony are ways to attract this energy. Conscious ceremony done in service to unconditional divine love feeds a need for sacred embodiment. It is the hunger within the soul that many seek to feed through religion, and others through the less conscious rituals of addiction. Ritual can be something that keeps you stuck or opens you to the sacred. What we're doing here, this is ritual. Like me showing up and doing these tarot broadcasts on the ritual on the regular. This is ritual. What we do here. Choosing a spiritual practice to engage on a regular basis, such as tuning in for Mystic Spider-Man's live tarot Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. EDT. That's what it says here in the book, no jokes. Creating your own spiritual system will help you call the genius of the seventh ray energy into your life. Your spiritual practice might be a daily prayer, followed by a short conscious dance or yoga session, a meditation, a walk in nature, or some combination of these. Find what works for you. Walk in nature. Find what works for you. Do it regularly, make it a priority. You can invite spirit into your life through a simple and ordered system that you do on a regular basis, even if only for 5 or 10 minutes a day. For those of you, again, we're partway through the card. Go ahead, leave your rituals down in the chat. Whatever you guys do is like a regular thing, and maybe you're just starting it. Maybe this card is actually reminding you, be like, oh shit, I need to make a ritual. I don't even have a ritual. So go ahead and leave, or what you want to do. It doesn't even have to be what you are. You can just write down what you want to do. No one's going to know the difference. So, all right. Find what works for you. Do that regularly. Make it a priority. You can invite spirit into your life through a simple and ordered system that you do on the regular, even if for only 5 or 10 minutes. Then, the new life, the new you, the order that brings an expansive idea to life in the world can happen. The challenge with the seventh ray is not to become obsessed with the future, with the new, to the extent that you forget about the valuable aspect of what already is. It is about developing what has value, not rejecting outright anything from the past. The past can teach us wisdom and help us create a more loving future if we allow ourselves to balance our passion for the future with a respect for what has been. The gift of the seventh ray is the ability to live in an embodied divine presence. I love this card. This card is awesome. For humans who don't trust or even recognize the love of the divine in their hearts as yet, those who do are great supporters. The seventh ray empowers us to use loving ritual to invite divine presence to fill us and our lives. It also teaches us how to use our consciousness to clean up our own energy field and the energy field of the world around us so the divine can show its face more clearly. The comfort of this can help free all beings from anguish and suffering. Invocation. I now accept of my own free will the blessing and grace of the seventh ray of ritual. Oh yeah, I usually read the invocation after. I'll read the invocation after. All right. Reading some of you guys' comments. What do you guys, some of your comments? Mirror dancing, says Lisa. Yeah. Singing bowl for clarity and frequency, says Andrea. Cleanliness in my home keeps my mood up. I tidy pretty much every day. Great answer. Great answer. Ababi, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong in the TikTok. Wash my face, brush my teeth, meditate, yoga, dance, and start some homework. Great answers. Great answers again. So let's dive a little bit deeper here. And again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, if you guys want to join in on YouTube, click the link in my profile. YouTube link's right there. And come on in and say hello to the team. As we're doing this, we'll just keep going. And honestly, guys, if you guys keep contributing on the PayPal and Patreon, I'll stay up late. Like I do have to go to sleep. I have to wake up early so I can help Lacey in the morning and make her breakfast and stuff like that. So, but we'll see how long we stay up. You guys will tell me when to go to bed based on the contributions and PayPal and Patreon sign-ups still coming in. So 5 hours later. So anyways, let's dive deep here. This is a super, super cool card to be able to receive. And again, I'm a real big fan of ritual and ceremony within community. And this card is really giving us the opportunity to be able to reflect. What are the rituals like within your life? Where are there a lack of rituals? Where can there be more rituals? What rituals do you want to be able to cultivate? And these are rituals obviously within a personal practice, but also rituals within the community practice. Do you have rituals that you practice as a community? And so again, within the community that we facilitate here within Paradigm Shift Central, especially for our leading members, having those regular routines is something that I'm super prominent and focused on, because I know being able to have those routines create this helix where within life, what basically happens is we kind of go through these stages where we start off from a point and then we kind of like move into the chaos and the craziness and the world and everything like that. What we need is to be able to find a place that we can return back to. And then from that place where we return back to, we expand back out again. And then we return back and we expand back out. We return back and we expand back out. When we allow ourselves to create a ritual, we're also creating a rhythm. We're literally creating a heartbeat within our reality. And that heartbeat grows. That heartbeat literally propagates. That heartbeat is like, if you ever look at a plant and you watch it time lapse through like day and night, it does this. Like that's like its own heartbeat. That's what we're doing, right? So when you have those rituals, your rituals are so important, especially in terms of a spiritual practice, because those rituals are the moments where you're practicing connecting to spirit in whatever way that means to you. And so if you can create those rituals within your life that are tuning you in and not just tuning you out, that's when you really begin to level up. And what if you start doing more of those practices where the majority of the things that you are doing throughout your day are actually tuning you in, opposed to just having the ritual where, like, oh, my ritual is I mindlessly scroll through like Twitter and TikTok and Instagram for like 3 hours every night. What a great ritual. Maybe I'll find something every now and then. And I'm not knocking it. I mean, honestly, we all do it. But what if you develop a ritual where throughout the day, you're practicing your meditation, your dance, your yoga, you're walking in nature, your baths, your showers, even your conscious eating, literally even the breath practice. Again, literally just being like, what? My ritual is to be able to set an alarm on my clock, and every 5 hours I take a moment and I just connect with my breath. Those moments in the microcosm and the macrocosm are so valuable because, again, they give us the opportunity to not only connect back to the center, but to also be able to recharge. Because when we're in that space of the heart, where we're in that place of spirit, it really is like tapping back into 0 point. And so as community, this is so powerful because this is how community grows. If you just kind of have this concept of like, okay, we're going to grow as a community and we're going to kind of do one thing here, but maybe we're not going to do it for like another like 6 weeks, and maybe we'll do it a couple weeks after that, and it's kind of like up in the air, and maybe it happens and sometimes it doesn't happen. What does that look like? The growth is kind of like, it's like expand out, and then it's like, it's like all over the place, right? Like that's my example of what our life looks like sometimes when we don't have ritual. It's just like, it's like, honestly, it's like this is, for some reason this comes to mind, it's like blowing up a balloon and then letting it go, and then the balloon's like that's our life. It's just like moving from one instance to the next with no actual rhythm. It's just like flopping around all over the place. Like, oh wow, like that's something. No doubt you're existing. Like that's still life. There's no denying that. But what happens when we allow and 11:11, if that resonates, I hope you guys laugh when you watch these broadcasts. I do try to make it amusing. I do try to embarrass myself just to give you guys a chance to be able to laugh along with us. But again, how powerful is it to be able to create that rhythm in your life where you're expanding and you're coming back, expanding and coming back, expanding and coming back? And where can you allow yourself to be able to have those moments where you're coming back? And what is coming back? Coming back is coming back to the present moment. Coming back is coming back to the reminder of your clarity, the reminder of your intention, the reminder of your focus, the reminder of your mission, the reminder of your purpose, the reminder of your divinity. What do you place within those moments where you come back? That's a very personal thing to you. And so when we allow ourselves to do this, and I'll just talk on this for a little bit and we'll get into our next reading, because this is a really cool card and I could talk about it for a while, but I just gotta save my throat chakra energy here. Again, with this card, it's really inviting us to begin to bring more awareness into the rituals in our own life, but then also to be able to reach out to those communities that we can connect to that also have rituals, and to begin to bring those into our practice, where the rituals are something where we begin to deepen the connection that we share with others. And as we deepen the connection that we share with others, this really allows us to grow into bigger organisms. This allows us to be able to expand our consciousness from the individual body into the group body, the community body, the collective body. And so this is something that can really, really, really begin to change our lives. And I think when we have those rituals, when we have those orders, when we have those ceremonies, not only does it give us something to look to, but it also gives us these milestones. And I think for a lot of us, this is why we look so forward to things like full moon. And maybe, for some of you already, the full moon is kind of a ritual, because you use the full moon is kind of like this chapter. It's kind of like each time you kind of do it, it's like, okay, like a new chapter begins, and it kind of gives you a bookend to be able to become self-aware of how far you have come, and to reflect and to observe and to be able to look back and to be able to look forward from that point. If you're not doing this, what are you doing? And not to say it's like less meaningful, but it's probably more chaotic and it's probably less focused. So ritual and routine is being able to align rhythms and cycles within your life that reflect the cycles of nature itself. Nature exists because of rhythm and cycles. It's only us as humans that we begin to develop these like weird rhythms and cycles. And you probably do still have rhythms and cycle, but are they serving you or are they just satisfying you? Are they healthy rhythms and cycles, or are they impulses and addictions? And there's no shame if that's the case of what it is, but once you begin to develop that awareness, maybe you're going to begin to replace some of those old rituals with new rituals. What's that? Instead of like waking up and checking my phone first thing in the morning, my ritual in the morning is before I check my phone, I notice the impulse where I want to check my phone. I program myself to make it non-negotiable to say, I'm going to take like 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes. I'm going to take 10 breaths. Like, I'm just kind of like saying, you can do this too. I'm just going to take 10 breaths. So you use the old instances where you felt the impulse to be able to enact on old addictions as a cue to be able to initiate a new ritual. Oh, what's this? Instead of being able to be like, oh, every time I feel like I want to be able to, like maybe eat food that I maybe shouldn't be eating quite as frequently. Instead, I'm going to program myself to use that as a cue to drink a glass of water, or not even a glass of water, literally just like a sip of water. Because again, there's a whole thing there where like sometimes if you're feeling hungry, the quick decision is to be able to like impulse and be able to turn to that ritual of like eating something that you're familiar with. But sometimes and this is a whole talk in itself, sometimes what we identify as hunger is actually us just being thirsty. So if you can begin to create this ritual where it's like every time I feel like I want to be able to like eat impulsively, maybe I just have a sip of water, and then I notice that it actually allows the impulse to kind of like dissolve. So you want to be able to create these new rituals, because in the process of doing that, it's also creating new neural pathways. Your brain will naturally want to do what it does more frequently. So, and that's simple, but it's honestly like so profound. So whatever you're doing more, the brain will want to do more of. So if you can begin to use your willpower to start to do other things more frequently, which is about building momentum and building the ritual doesn't just happen overnight. It happens through a process. And as you do it, you build momentum and you build that rhythm, and then the rhythm itself begins to perpetuate it, and you fall in love. You fall in love with the progress and the growth. And suddenly it's like, what was once a chore becomes a celebration. It becomes something you look forward to because you've fallen in love with the results that it's already birthed within your reality. So where are you creating ritual, order, and ceremony within your life? And encouraging you guys to really just be able to reflect on that. And I think the world would be a better place if each of us just began to develop more of those personal practices. And those can be simple. Like I said, it can just be like going for a walk, exercising, taking more time to meditate, taking more time to journal. Those moments where you bring yourself back to the heart space and really begin to connect a little bit more with spirit from your own personal relationship. And then again, expanding this concept to really begin to reflect, where am I connecting with community in ceremony and in ritual? And again, for those of you who are like, where could I possibly connect with community for ceremony and ritual? Again, the community that we've created, Paradigm Shift Central, we do that all the time. We've got these events that we do here, the tarot that I'm doing again in the Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. EDT. But we've also got broadcasts on Monday at 4 p.m., Tuesday, Wednesday, where we're doing different events. Mondays are our Shooting the Shift podcast. Tuesdays are our Conscious Creator Collaborative Circle. Wednesday is our Paradigm Shift Circle discussion. And Thursday is our team podcast night. So you can see where we kind of have these rituals where all of us are out and about and then we come together. How powerful is it, where you think of the simple things where like as a family, even just like having a meal is a ritual. Everybody's out and about and they're doing things, and then you come back and be like, oh, hey family, how's it going? How's your day going? Share, tell me what's new. I miss you. I want to reconnect. And then you eat dinner and then you complete that ritual and then you kind of go out. And then you come back again, and you go out and you come back again, you go out and you come back again. So as simple as it sounds, it's so incredibly powerful. And oftentimes in our reality, it is the simple things that are the most powerful. So don't let the simplicity eclipse how powerful simple ritual and routine can be. And start off with doing something simple and allow that to naturally grow into something that will holographically change your life. How you do one thing is how you do anything. So if you can bring a little bit more discipline into your life in one space, it will holographically bring it into the rest of your world. So if that resonates with you, Drop some 1111s in the chat. Beautiful, beautiful card. Seventh ray of ritual and order and ceremony. Thank you again, Andrea, who contributed on PayPal with a little bit extra to be able to support the various readings that we've had tonight. And let's take a moment here to be able to do a little affirmation based on the message of this card. Oh, and the invocation, I didn't read that. Invocation, this is you saying this to yourself. I now accept of my own free will the blessing and grace of the seventh ray of ritual, order, and ceremony, and the assistance of the unconditionally loving masters of the ray, the violet flame, and Saint Germain and Archangel Zadkiel. I open to the magic of creativity, divine genius, and the ability to translate spiritual concepts into real-world experiences for the greater good. May I discover and use my innate power for conscious and loving ritual and ceremony to enrich and invite spiritual presence into my life. May all beings feel safe and consciously held in a loving divine order, according to the great plan of love. Through mine own free will, so be it. Beautiful, beautiful card there. So if you guys want to leave a little affirmation in the chat, go ahead and do that. So quick affirmation. I am continuing to cultivate meaningful ritual within my life that is leading me towards a more focused and fulfilled expression of my spirit, and I am inviting in others through community to be able to connect through shared order and ceremony in ways that will nurture our spirits so we can grow as a team and kick butt and change the world. Pew, 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 pew. That's my affirmation. All that's my affirmation. So we're doing it, team. Like literally, we're doing it. I know it's a small crew here tonight, but honestly, never underestimate the power of a small team. And I don't mind that it is a small team, that it is like a small group of people. I'd rather really connect with a smaller group of people than try to manage a community of like 10,000 people and have it just be a friggin' shift show the entire time. So to speak. So we got our own shift show going on. So Lisa, thank you so much for the love and support. And yeah, you guys are welcome to leave and just leave your gratitude. Happy to be able to be hanging out here at 3 freaking a.m. in the morning. The hell are we doing up this late? Abby says, I was just about to say that about the neural connections. Lisa says, I started doing breaths when I wake up, and this week it definitely helped. Awesome to hear. And exactly, it strengthens those pathways. You're creating a paradigm shift central neural network. That's exactly what it is. The paradigm shift central is exactly it. Like it's the Discord is called the Nexus. Like it is. It's a neural network of experience. Andrea says, Saint Germain is my homie, going to the Temple of the Violet Flame in New Mexico in 2 weeks. Oh, very cool, Andrea. That's exciting. Happy to hear that for you. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Awesome, team. All right, so one more reading, and then we'll call it a night, I think. At least one more reading. We'll do one more reading, but then if anybody else does contribute anything else on the PayPal or Patreon, feel free to. But again, you guys can also sign up for the PayPal or Patreon later. I know some of you are already signing up later. Some of you are already on our Patreon. Lisa, shout out to you as well. Thank you again for your support on the Patreon. And Andrea and Starseeds Unite, thank you guys again for your support. Thank you to anyone who's just simply tuned in. Again, the support that you guys contribute in any form is all equally appreciated. So I think I have to use the bathroom break again. So you guys go ahead, leave your affirmations in the chat. And which deck do we want to use next? Or do you want me to just choose a deck? Because if so, I think we'll probably go back. Let's go back to the Hero's Journey deck. Sometimes the card readings in those are a little bit shorter. So we'll do that. We'll do at least one more reading. And then if we have any additional contributions through the PayPal or Patreon or any other signups on the PayPal or Patreon, we can keep going. I'll stay up late for you guys. I will literally stay up late. And yeah, we'll just keep riding with the flow here. Again, if anybody wants to sign for the Patreon, I'd love to be able to hit 100 tonight. And again, your support on the Patreon, it not only helps support me, but it literally helps support like what me and Lacey are building as a team. So if you're not doing it for me, do it for Lacey, I guess. She's pretty cool too, right? But honestly, do it for yourself. Sign up for the Patreon for yourself. Like, yes, you're supporting us, but when you sign up for the Patreon, I want you to sign up for the Patreon, which again is our community membership, in a way where you're just like, fuck yes. Like, this is me saying fuck yes to myself. Because this is me getting involved with something that is going to be meaningful and invite me to connect with like more awesome people. So again, the Patreon link's in my profile for those of you on TikTok or Instagram, and I'll post it into the chat again. It's already in the chat for those of you on YouTube. And yeah, you guys know all about it. You guys know the thing with the stuff. So let's get into one more reading. Let me just chug this coffee at 3 a.m. in the morning. Inspirational coffee fueled team tarot readings. And I'll be right back. I'm just doing a quick inspiration, quick intermission, and then we'll be back with some inspiration, and we'll do one more reading from the Hero's Journey deck, unless any of you want to be able to keep me up later with another contribution on PayPal or Patreon. I welcome it. I welcome it. I'm totally cool with whatever. All right, you guys stick around and go ahead, just chit chat amongst each other. Where's everybody tuned in from? I'll be back in 1 minute. I love how purple the lights are in here. Do you guys like those purple lights? Pretty cool, eh? All right, welcome back, team. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Cool. Let me just check here on Twitch. I just want to be able to jump around on Twitch for a second. Again, you guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys being here. Please feel free to just kind of like chill out for a bit. I'm gonna see if I want to just be able to see if there's like other people on Twitch that I can just go follow who are also doing tarot right now. Sometimes when they do that, they're like, oh, like Mystic Spider-Man Tarot followed me, and then they're like curious to tune in. Hey, Miss Breeze, thanks for tuning in. Thank you again, everybody who's tuned in on Instagram or on TikTok. I shall turn into this person. They have 20. The most person on Twitch right now. It's cool because there is like a community on Twitch for tarot specifically. So right now there's like multiple tarot streams. If you guys look, I'll just post it. You guys can even just like see. Like if you guys aren't on Twitch, honestly, I would recommend it. Even if just for like the Twitch tarot directory, where you can kind of go to like this specific channel and it's like, oh, you can see like what tarot broadcasters are broadcasting right now. There's only 6 of us doing tarot right, no, 5 of us doing, no, 4 of us doing tarot. One person has 23 people tuned in, and everybody else has like 2 or 3 people tuned in. I have 1 person tuned in right now. So yes. And I'm just trying to see if I can follow. Am I following this person? I think I'm following this person. Am I following that person? I think I'm following that person. Cool, but they're pretty busy right now. Cool. All right. Well, one day I'll be famous on Twitch. One day, but at least we're pretty famous on YouTube. I think we got a pretty good thing going on here. You guys are here. You guys are like the OG crew. So. That's the most important thing. All right, let's get into one more reading here. You guys ready for another reading? Drop an 1111 in the chat if you guys want at least one more reading. And again, if anybody wants to contribute on PayPal or Patreon, maybe even if you've just been tuned in tonight and you're just like, man, you know what? That was fun. I don't need another reading, but take my money. And you guys can just kind of like add your support that way. I mean, it doesn't have to be that literal, but if you guys just want to add your support, either just through regular contributions, that's fine. But again, I would encourage you guys to check out the Patreon and add your support there, which again is an $11 monthly membership and a lot of awesome value there. Like the value on the Patreon, it's way more than $11. We just keep it at $11 so it's affordable. All right. Okay. It's very late right now, but let's do at least one more reading, and then this will be it for tonight. But if anybody wants to be able to contribute anything extra, then we'll keep going for a little bit. So when you guys tune into this broadcast, I want this to be a space where, again, it's like a nice, like, chill, inspirational space where it's not even just about the tarot. It's about, like, the other people that you get to connect with when you're in here. So thank you guys for making this space what it is. You really do it. So, all right. Hero's Journey deck. Let's do this reading real quick. So if you guys are ready, drop that 1111 in the chat, and yeah, let's get into at least one more reading. So yeah, I have a lot of followers on TikTok, but there's literally one person watching on TikTok live right now. I still haven't figured out exactly, like, I think with the TikTok, I think the trick to TikTok is like when people are live on TikTok, you want people to smash the like button, and then I think that puts your feed up further, I think. So if you guys ever see me live on here, feel free to jump over to my TikTok every now and then like hit the like button in my TikTok live, and then I think that sends it out to more people, I think. But either way, it's not about the numbers, it's about the seeds planted along the way. So yo, Maddie, thanks for joining in. Let's do one more reading here, and yeah, thank you guys for making this party so freaking awesome. So cool. All right, one more reading unless anybody contributes to keep me up extra. So here we go. Inviting everybody to just connect into your heart space and just breathe here. Nice big exhale, bit of a sigh. Just connecting with your breath, allowing yourself to be in the space of gratitude. Gratitude for this moment, the team, and the messages. Connecting with our intuition, connecting with the intention. Show us what we need to see. We being the individual, the collective, and the team. Focusing on this intention, show us what we need to see. Speak with your heart, speak with your mind, speak with your soul. Speak with your words. And for everybody here, as we focus in on that intention, just allow yourself to breathe, connecting into your heart space. When you guys are ready, you can gently open up your eyes and type those wizard noises into the chat, and I'll do my my quick little wizard enchantment spell, and then we'll split the deck. So and here we are, late night, holding within the realms of the infinite light, as we continue to pull these decks so that we can see all the magic that is between the space of you and me. But these cards are just mirrors so that we can reflect all the ways that we are becoming our best. And so as we split the deck at least one more time, we shall see what message the universe shines. Cool. I feel like I should get like a soundboard of my own sound effects. So instead of making the sound effects, I should press a button that's like a pre-recorded version of me going shoo 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 wah 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 wah. Would that make sense? Cool. All right. The card that we have pulled from the Hero's Journey deck, again, this card is for anybody who happens to be tuned in right now, is card number 32. Make the grade with flying colors. Remember, you signed up for this. Card number 32. Make the grade with flying colors. Remember, you signed up for this. Ooh, I'm excited to read into this one. I don't think we've done this one on air before. There's a lot of cards that we haven't even read on air before. I like to be able to save the cards so that we read them on air with you guys for the first time sometimes. So, all right. What we're going to do, we're just going to explain visually what's on this card. Again, this will be the last reading for tonight unless anybody wants to contribute anything extra on PayPal or Patreon. Thank you again to Starseeds Unite. Thank you to Andrea, who's contributed tonight. You guys have helped make this broadcast possible. Thank you to everyone who's been tuned in and adding your support in any format. And again, I'll post a link for the PayPal and the Patreon. And like I said, this will be the last reading for tonight. However, if anybody does want to be able to contribute anything extra, I'll keep going. We got the coffee. The coffee is still brewed here, so we'll tapped into infinite source energy here. So let's take a look at this card visually. For those of you on TikTok or Instagram, click the link in my profile, tune in on YouTube so you can see the main camera. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful image here. There's not too much to explain. Just this beautiful, like, magical spiral mandala. Kind of looks like inside of like a water tunnel, or maybe it's a galaxy, and a lot of like cool smudginess going on with some beautiful kind of orangey reds at the center, and then kind of expanding into these like bluish greens. So again, that's just me explaining literally what's on the card. So, all right, let's dive a little bit deeper here. Gonna read this message. If you're tuned in, this message is for you. Just allow yourself to open your heart to the magic that is coming through right now in this moment. So let me just check here. Where's that button? So oh, awesome. Cosmic Murphy just joined in on the Patreon. Cosmic Murphy, if you're tuned in right now, please go ahead and let us know. That was literally just 0 minutes ago, so that just came in. So, Cosmic Murphy, once we see you in the chat, go ahead and let us know, and we'll definitely do at least one more reading for that as well. So, thank you, Cosmic Murphy. And once we know who Cosmic Murphy is in the chat, we'll give them a nice shout out here as well. Let me just click a thing here. I lost the button, so okay. There we go. All right, we're back on track. So awesome. All right, well, let's keep things going here. You guys are doing wonderful, and I'll upgrade the Patreon screen in a second. So here we go. Card number 32. Make the grade with flying colors. Remember, you signed up for this. This is a quote by Byron Katie. Do you guys know Byron Katie? Very well-known conscious leader. When they attack you and you notice that you love them with all your heart, your work is done. Whoa, that's awfully powerful, isn't that? That's pretty powerful right there. So cool. Awesome. Andrea, thank you so much for joining in on the Patreon. Andrea, I know that you mentioned that earlier. I'll let you decide, Andrea. If you're just like, you know what, Brendan, go to bed after this, that's fine. I'll let you decide if we want to do one more. That's totally fine. Or we'll just put like twice the energy into this extra reading right here. And Andrea, thank you so much, guys. Show some extra love for Andrea who just joined us on the Patreon. And let me just upgrade that real quick since I know. I'll just update it real quick. So here we go. 100 Zelda sound effects. Pew 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 pew. So you can see that upgraded on screen. Technically, it's still at 99 because there's I have to. Lacey is signed up for my Patreon still, and I have to delete her account. She's like, we live in the same house, and she's still signed up for my Patreon. So technically, we're at 99, but I'm still gauging it at 100 until I remove her account. But we're counting it at 100. So thank you, Andrea, for helping us reach 100 on Patreon tonight. That's super awesome. And my goal is literally to reach 200 on Patreon before the baby comes. So it's gonna happen. It's possible. We've done it before. Here we go. All right. Message. When you are tested, confronted by an obstacle, or challenged by someone, tune in to your favorite radio station. WIIFM. What's in it for me? That's like an acronym. Welcome to WIIFM. What's in it for me? Ask yourself what is right about the situation and how it might make you stronger. This is a very powerful card, actually. Look for the gift in the challenge and for the opportunity to put what you have learned to the test. This is very relative to the previous cards that we got to. Usually that happens when we do these broadcasts. Each reading like leads into the next. They kind of compound to create some sort of like super reading. So if you tune in for all of them, it's like a big reading. When you look for the lesson and the blessing in a situation, you will always find it. You have a unique curriculum, and you co-created the aspects of your life that are testing you right now, so you can grow to your fullest potential. You knew long ago that you would emerge through these trials brighter, better, and wiser. Remember, you have access to the teacher's manual with all the answers to the problems you are being graded on. When you see yourself in everyone and everything, your defenses soften. Your heart opens, and your learning curve is off the charts. From an alchemic perspective, you can transform your so-called enemies and challenges into divine opportunities for maximum awakening. I like, for some reason, that phrase just stands out to me. Into divine opportunities for maximum awakening. Maximum awakening, engage. Pew, pew, pew. Lasers, pew, pew. Dream symbol for this card. Dreams about school. Dreams about school, missing a test, or being late to class signify that you are being tested, judged, or graded in your life. You may be trying to prove your worthiness to yourself and the world. You might also be letting go of imposter syndrome, the erroneous belief you don't deserve the high marks or success you achieve. Mantra. I choose these lessons and have all the answers I need to succeed. You have all the answers you need to succeed. So Beautiful, beautiful card here. Let's dive a little bit deeper. And yeah, this is a great card to be able to end off with. I think we're ending it off. Andrea told me to go to bed, so I guess I have to go to bed now. So, all right. Anyways, let's just dive a little bit deeper with this card. One of the things that I really do like about this card is this idea of being able to like to transform like your enemies into allies. This is actually a really, really powerful virtue, and it actually goes back to like the Merlin mythos and King Arthur. King Arthur kind of like had this trait that he was known for instead of like waging war with his enemies, he would seek to turn his enemies into allies. And that was actually more of like a metaphor, if anything. You know, this idea that, you know, within our life there's going to be many different enemies that we experience, but how do we turn them into allies? We turn them allies by changing the way we approach them, by changing the way we address them, by changing the story of how we relate to them. And I think this card is a super, super powerful card to be able to just reflect on the state of the world this day. Like this idea that, you know, in the state of the world this day, like crazy stuff is happening. And I feel like so many of us are probably so frustrated and probably look at like the crazy stuff happening on the news and politicians and institutions. And it's easy for us to look at them and be like, they're my enemy. Like they're between me and my freedom. Like there's a conflict of interest here. However, as much as you continue to hold those emotions and those perspectives, which undeniably are still valid from their own point of view, can you still allow yourself to be able to see them from that perspective where you can still send them love? Which is, again, going back to the Byron Katie quote, when they attack you and you notice that you love them with all your heart, your work is done. That's a very, very powerful opportunity to be able to bring with you into tomorrow. Tomorrow, when you look at the news and you see like all this crazy stuff, you can still look at it and be like, wow, that person's a complete dumbass. Like, that's okay. But can you still hold empathy and be like, but I still send them love? Because perhaps their dumbassness is acting from their own degree of unconsciousness. You look at what's happening in the world and it's like everybody's kind of like in this mass hypnosis, this mass kind of like sleepwalking state that we are in. And instead of just getting mad at them and be like, oh, this is all your fault, this is all your fault, this is all your fault, instead be able to kind of understand that from a one perspective, what they're doing is, again, almost kind of like playing a part within a bigger story. If their consciousness hasn't fully awakened, then it's almost, again, as if they're just kind of like going along with the flow that the universe is kind of directing through them. And from this perspective, it's really being able to understand that, again, you know, like once we begin to see this from the top down understanding of where the world is at, we can understand that, again, even right now, what the world is going through, no doubt it is this dark night of the soul, but it's also leading us to a golden age. It's also leading us, again, we're moving through the age of Aquarius. We're moving into this age where the old systems are crumbling and collapsing, but with it, it's also the invitation to be able to create something new. So you knew long ago that you would emerge through these trials brighter, better, and wiser. So right now, it's really being able to acknowledge that we are in these trials. We are in these circumstances that are testing us, that are challenging us, and yet we came here to be students. We came here to be cosmic students on this great mission to be able to help level up, to be able to help evolve, and to not just evolve on a personal scale, but to literally evolve as a collective class, to literally be able to bring others with us on this journey of conscious awakening where we can continue to serve ourselves while serving the collective simultaneously. When you see yourself in everyone and everything, your defenses soften, your heart opens, and your learning curve is off the chart. From an alchemic perspective, you can transform your so-called enemies and challenges into divine opportunities for maximum awakening. So again, this is a very, very powerful card that really just reminds us that in every circumstance and in every situation, there is a choice. There is a choice to either see something from a disempowering perspective or to see something from an empowering perspective. You think of the circumstances where there will be things that will challenge you. They can still suck. You can still say like, hey, I don't like this situation. In fact, you may hate it. That's okay. Like, that doesn't mean you have to be like, this is okay. Like, this is fine. But there is this opportunity for you to be able to really begin this new perspective where you know that this too is helping you grow. And this too is helping you see. And this too is helping you bring something that may just be theoretical into action. It's one thing to be able to say, oh, like I love my enemy, da, 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 da. But what are you going to do when that enemy shows up on your door and you have to talk to them face to face? And it's not something that you can avoid, whether that be literal or metaphorical. Hey, Christina, thank you so much for joining in. So again, with this card, this is a very, very powerful card that really reflects where we are as a collective right now. This idea that, make the grades with flying colors. Remember, you signed up for this, because from the top down perspective of the star seeds and the light workers and the light guardians that we came here to be porters for alchemical transformation. We came here to be able to bring some of that darkness that surrounds us into us, and then ignite it within the light of our heart and bring it back out into the world, to change the story, to change the perspective, to shift the paradigm. Because one of the most powerful things that we can wield in this reality is the perspective. And so you look at the circumstances of the world these days, and a lot of people, their perspective is being programmed. It's being force fed to them. They aren't even necessarily given too much of a choice, but you always have a choice. You always have a choice to be able to see things from a higher level of consciousness, assuming that your consciousness has been cultivated to a degree where that actually becomes a common practice. This is where a lot of people struggle. A lot of people haven't been trained to be able to see things from this perspective. They just kind of see things at face value. They don't ask questions. They don't look behind doors. They don't kind of ask why. They don't ask what if. But you're different. You're here to get curious. You're here to see the lessons. You're here to flip the page. You're here to really be able to open up a new side of the story that's going to lead you towards being able to evolve through this test. And one of the ways to be able to evolve through the test is to be able to know that it's a test to begin with. But even still, this test isn't just a test. This test is actually a game. It's a play. It's a cosmic fool dancing with itself over and over and over and again. So with a lot of what this card is really inviting us, it's inviting us to be able to bring in more of that Buddha nature, more of that bodhisattva, where we're here to be able to liberate ourselves and others, to be able to see yourself and your surroundings. That changes everything. But even still, it doesn't mean that you can't hold sacred anger and sacred rage and do sacred activism. Whatever it is that you feel called to do, go ahead and do it, but wield your sword with an intentional consciousness, with an intentional way where you're not just there to destroy things, but you're there to be able to cut through. You're there to be able to cut through illusions and cut through bullshits and be able to help clear the way, to be able to light a brighter path that will, again, help people to be able to see the stories and the lessons, to be able to help see the lessons in the story. And again, for them to be able to see their role as the student that is here to be able to learn from those lessons collectively. Remember, you have access to the teacher's manual with all the answers to the problems you are being graded on. So I'll just say this, I'm going to get close to wrapping it up because I have to be mindful of my energies right now. I'm getting pretty tired. Within our heart holds all of the solutions that we need. So within our heart holds the key. Within our heart holds the teacher's manual. And especially when we come together as community, we may not have it all figured out, but when we come together as community, or even just on our own individually, and we practice connecting with our heart, much like what the previous cards were talking about, that's when the voice and the wisdom of divinity speaks through us. That is when we allow ourselves to bring forth the solutions into this world. And again, those solutions are very much like the teacher's manual that's going to be able to help guide us intuitively through the circumstances, and to really be able to rise up to meet them with as much love as possible. And that love can be a very fierce love at times. It can be a very gentle love. It can be a compassionate love. It can be whatever love it needs to be, man. That love is going to look differently in different circumstances, but allow yourself to really just be able to bring more of that awareness into your actions, and know that the true lesson in each and every single moment is to do your best to be able to carry love with you through each and every single step in the broad spectrum, whatever that love is. And that love that you carry with you into each step is a byproduct of the consciousness that you carry in your heart. So when you carry that cultivated consciousness, it gives you the choice to bring with you love into each and every single step to the best of your ability. But hey, go back and practice your rituals and your routines to really be able to get into that rhythm where you go out into the world and you do all the lessons, and then maybe you get a little bit tired, and then you bring yourself back to the rituals and your routine, and then you charge yourself back up, reconnect with that 0 point, connect back to your spiritual battery, and then you bring yourself back out into the world. As a student, you're not just here to just be able to cram all night long. You're here to pace yourself, to create a rhythm, create the routine, to get the ritual so you can show up with a sharp mind and a conscious mind each and every single day, and to really be able to cultivate more of that sovereignty within your life. And that's when you win. When you cultivate the sovereignty that you already carry within inside of you, and you help others do the same. So super powerful card. Make the grade with flying colors. Remember, you signed up for this. So we did. We really did. For each of us right here. We're here for a very important story. So let's go kick some butt. We'll wrap up this broadcast in the next little bit, and let's keep leveling up. And again, let's keep bringing more love into this world and cultivating the consciousness and connecting with the wisdom and the solutions of our heart. Making the grade with flying colors. Go ahead and leave an affirmation. If this resonated with you, if this inspired you, anything that I said there, drop some 1111s in the chat. And a quick little affirmation for that card if you want to share one in the chat, just to confirm that you got the message. So I'll practice. I am continuing to bring more awareness into my reality as a student within these lessons, knowing that within my heart holds the key to be able to accelerate and pass with flying colors. For we have already won, for we have already graduated. So be it. Aho. So, super cool card. Thank you again, everybody, so much. We'll hang out here just for a little bit longer. I don't think we'll do another reading, but I'll just keep the door open just in case someone wants to like do some crazy contribution. And then I'll have to really tap in. But other than that, I think we're just about ready to wrap it up. And Andrea says, excellent job tonight, Brendan. Thank you for delivering and giving your interpretations of the cards. So glad I locked in. Hashtag intuitive guides. Yes, Andrea, very much an intuitive moment for you to be here and for you to be able to receive these messages, which we're teaching us about being able to tap into intuitive guidance. So Abby says, so well said, thanks. And and just going back on the comments there, are they just flowing, or are people not making enough personal choices for change? But I get your side. Yes. Yeah, again, it's there's a whole discussion there we can talk about more about another time. So, but Abby, thank you so much. Andrea, thank you so much for your contributions tonight. Thank you for joining on the Patreon. Again, thank you as well to Starseeds Unite for the contribution on PayPal as well. Andrea, thank you for your contribution on PayPal. And yeah, thank you to each and every single one of you who have been tuned in tonight. We'll just give it a couple extra minutes. I could stay up late. I could go to bed right now. If anybody does want to contribute on PayPal or Patreon, you guys are more than welcome to. But other than that, I think we're about ready to wrap it up. So, because I'm going to be live on air in 8 hours, so we'll be back here again soon enough. I just wanted to jump on here for the late owls, for the late night crew. So, which is cool because I'm glad I was able to hang out with you guys. Beautiful. All right, getting close to wrapping this up. For those of you who tuned in, thank you guys so much. Again, you guys are welcome to be able to send me a DM if you guys even want to book any personal readings. I do that. It's a bit of like a sliding scale. It's usually like pay you wish, like $30-ish or whatever. And again, if you sign up for my Patreon, that's where you can even get the option at the $33 level a month, which has the best value. That's where you can get a monthly reading session with me. That can also be a monthly conscious coaching session, conscious media coaching session. At the $33 level, you guys can also get one of the beautiful Light Guardian crystals. If you guys are interested in that, just pay shipping there. You can also order these from the shop. I'll post a link. Does anybody here want to order a Light Guardian crystal? If so, just drop a 777 in the chat if you're interested, and then I'll post a link into the chat. Like, it doesn't have to be today. I just mean in general. And yeah, if you guys want to join on the Patreon, the $11 level for the leading member, or the $33 level for the leading member plus, and lots of awesome value and opportunity there. And again, we got our dream class coming up this weekend, Saturday 11 a.m. EDT for Patreon members. And also tomorrow at 4 p.m. EDT, we have our Paradigm Shift Circle. And the discussion topic is what makes your heart sing. So that's a pretty cool topic that we got to be able to explore. And again, that's on our Discord server. So for those of you who are looking to be able to tune into that, just make sure you're connected to the Discord. And you can join in tomorrow by either just listening on YouTube or on Discord, or you can practice speaking. You can practice adding your voice. Those are free to join. We create those on the Discord server. They're kind of like modern day versions of the original Paradigm Shift meetings that we used to host physically, which we don't really necessarily do quite in the same way anymore. but they're an awesome way for you to be able to join in for some cool conscious conversations, and we facilitate those in the community. Andrea dropping the 777, interested in getting the Light Guardian crystal. Yeah, Andrea, happy to be able to post a link for the quest item shop. And again, Andrea, if you want, you can order with a discount code. You do have a discount code right now. You would have received it when you sign up for the Patreon. Again, there is a $33 option if you prefer, and even if you're looking for like the Lemurian Light Guardian crystals, then I would use the discount for that. Or you can sign up at the higher level on the Patreon. There's a few options there. I have one of the levels on my Patreon is a 96% discount on items, which is ridiculous because that's basically like giving people the chance to become like wholesale retailers of my items. But that's at like the highest level on my Patreon. So, where basically if they sign up at that level, they're basically getting like free items. So, but that's like a super high tier. So, no one signed up for that yet. Someday they might. Someday they might. So, but yes. All right. Yo, Adrian, what's up, dude? 3 a.m. in the morning here, just doing some late night tarot. We're just about to be able to wrap it up. We did have a new Patreon sign up tonight. Andrea, thank you so much again, and some contributions on PayPal as well as some awesome readings. Like, what did we learn tonight, man? Learning about being able to accelerate as students within this cosmic lesson, being able to navigate emotional challenges, and being able to cultivate order and ritual and ceremony, and also being able to identify ourselves as divinity in blue jeans. That was literally the card. It's like acknowledging you are divinity in blue jeans. So cool. All right, if you guys are ready to go to sleep, go ahead, leave some comments of gratitude into the chat. For those of you on Twitch, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll be back live again Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. EDT. So if you're on Twitch, feel free to follow, and you'll be able to tune in very soon. I'll be back on air in like 8 hours. I'm going to go to sleep and come back recharged and ready to go. And we got lots more coming your way. Lots of fun. So cool. Awesome. Any closing gratitude, feel free to leave that into the chat. We'll just keep the room open for 1 more minute. You guys can just say goodnight to each other. And yeah, as always, it's always a pleasure being able to hang out with you guys. And reminder, if you haven't yet, go ahead and connect to our Discord server. And I'll be doing some upgrades on the Discord server tomorrow as well. So lots of insights. It was a lot. Yeah, tonight was a lot. How many? Did we do 4 readings? 5 readings? I forget. Jumped on here at what, like 12:45? I've been broadcasting for 2.5 hours. Is that how long it's been? So cool. Yeah, this live is recorded on YouTube, so you can definitely go back and watch it again. 100%. Any of the lives we do are always recorded, like with the same link. So you come back tomorrow and it will be here. So yes. Cool. All right, team. Let's wrap it up. I'm gonna go to sleep. You guys can send me a DM if you would like, and we'll be back here soon enough. And I hope to see you guys around. If you're the late night crew, I'll try to jump on here again for some more late night tarot. And for the morning crew, I'll see you guys then as well for the 11 a.m. broadcast, EDT. So feel free to tell your friends about what it is that we do here. If you guys want to take a screenshot and post it to your IG stories, just tag me on Mystic Spider-Man. Honestly, even send like a direct message to people and just be like, hey, tune in for Brendan, tune in to Mystic Spider-Man. He does some like really cool broadcasts. And the direct messages are a great way to be able to direct people. And even if you want to let other people know about the Patreon, go ahead. And like I said, I did upgrade the Patreon. So if you haven't checked out the Patreon, go ahead and check it out and see what tier resonates with you if that's something you're interested in. And join us for some awesome upcoming events that we got. So cool. All right, team, let's go to bed. Good night, everyone. This is Mystic Spider-Man, aka Brendan, signing off for tonight. You guys have a beautiful sleep. Sending you guys so much love. Thank you again so much for being here. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon enough. As always, much love, keep it shifty, and welcome to the future. Until next time, see you soon. All right, good night, everyone. Much love.